Hey, what's up? I'm Cheap.
And I'm Da Vinci.
And we're Rough Ends. And this is the Barber Time Buzz.
No doubt. Gentlemen, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
Man, appreciate you, good brother.
I feel like it's a looming question mark. What's the new business model? And to me, you know, the people that lead to that answer, and then they intelligence, they hustle, they effort, they mind power, they, you know, whatever they can offer to that question, and to fixing that, coming up with an answer to that, I feel like that's one of the most important things. Right now, I think it's the business model creators of this new era that's going to be able to be the titans of business moving forward. People that create the new business models. I feel like the giants are going to be the ones who create the business models. That's what we're trying to do with this Proud to Pay. Fuck the middleman. And, you know, this disruptive multimedia.
It's time for you barbers, I'm calling your name. It's time for you stylists, I'm calling your name to prepare yourself for the opportunity, because the opportunity is coming.
You know what I mean? It's actually an incredible time. It's like a gold rush. There's never been a time like this. This technology has empowered everybody. It's giving people, you know, it's as big as you want to make it. And, you know, it's as far as you want to take it. Giants gonna crumble. Big companies gonna crumble. New companies gonna pop up out of nowhere. And it's going to be dramatic right now, and I believe it.
And I'm telling you, Barber Time is the best media, social media for the barbers out there. Listen, watch Barber Time, because this is what we do, baby. This is the barber industry. This is what we do, and this is how we get down.
And Barber Time all the time.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? This is Reggie Wilson with a really quick video. So I've seen some rumors out right now that Oster is coming out with their cordless fast feeds. Now, Oster last year, they seemed like they got missing from the spotlight. Their Instagram was inactive. It seemed like they've been going through a rebranding. If you go on the Instagram now, you can see a lot of stuff where they're asking, like, for feedback. What do we want? A detachable or an adjustable? And they're asking questions, trying to get barbers to give them some feedback. So with that said, man, I'm excited to see these cordless fast feeds. Now, there have been some already on the market, but not from Oster. There have been modders that's out here that actually understand how to work on clippers, making it happen. But it's nothing like getting something directly from the manufacturers for warranty purposes. Are you excited? In the comments below, let me know how you feeling about it. Are you a fast feed guy? Do you think the fast feed in the cordless setting would be the right thing? Also, what else would you do to the fast feed to make it even a better clipper? All right, this is Reggie Winston, the Better Barber. Thank you for checking out this video on YouTube. Check out some of the other videos. Like and subscribe, but let me know, what do you think you should see from these Oster fast feeds? Are you excited to get them? And is this the clipper that you want to purchase? And yeah, let's see what happens, yo. Can't wait to see what the price is going to be and how they're going to look. All right, y'all, stay tuned.
Somebody below you helped you get where you are. I remember years ago when Curtis and I always had like a love-hate, because Curtis, I told Kevin Curtis the other day at the airport, I said, Curtis, you remind me of Dame Dash. And Dame Dash is, you know, he's harsh. But Dame, he loves hard. Curtis loves hard. He'll tell you to jump in the lake, but he loves you. You got to understand that about Curtis. But Curtis gave me an award, one of the first awards I received as a barber, Entrepreneur of the Year, at a round table at the Warner Brothers. And he always seemed to be what opened doors for barbers. So in other words, you can't reap something and not sow it back into the land. If you don't plant, there's no harvest. If you don't take what you got and plant it and give it out, you won't have a legacy. Your children should know what you've done. And so hopefully this whole weekend has been an opportunity to document who you are and what you do, so that your children and your children's children can look back and say, Daddy, Grandma, Grandpa did this. Because this is what it's all about. Family, brotherhood, sisterhood. And I know if we continue to do what we do, whether it's one customer, whether it's inside the studio, whether it's inside the salon suite, whether it's inside the barbershop, whether it's inside the school, wherever we decide to exercise our talents, we cannot forget our brothers and sisters in this industry. God bless you. I love you all. Continue to do what you do. Continue to be faithful in what you do. And let's make some more money. Let's do it right.
Hey guys, it's Thomas from the Barber Style Directory, and welcome back to another video. Now this video is going to be centered around one of the most essential parts of a haircut, and that's the lineup, or edge up, whatever you want to call it. This video is going to be very short and straight to the point. I'm basically just going to go over my method of how I do a lineup. Now there are several ways to line up. You can start from the front or the sides, but I'm going to show you my personal method. There will also be a blog associated with this video, so be sure to click the link below, and it will take you straight to our website. Don't forget to subscribe. We're doing a 50K subscriber giveaway, so be on the lookout for that. And without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, so basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna taper down the front area so his hair will lay down. Now you can do this. I don't start a lineup across the front. What I do is, turn your headphones just a little bit. I start on the side. So I make this line and then I make the curve, match it on the other side, and then I just connect it with the front. It makes it easier for me that way. Guys, I won't be doing a lot of talking in this video since the video is so self-explanatory, but I'll just chime in on certain parts that I feel that I can give you guys some feedback and some tips. And I've said this in several videos before, my trimmers are set for all around purpose. So my trimmers, they're not super sharp, but they can do a shave, they can do outlines, whatever you need to do, they're all purpose. I can line little kids with these if I want to. I don't set my blades too close. But they're still sharp enough for me to get that line that I need to. And his hairline has a tendency to curl up, so what I'm doing is just basically tapering his line up just a little bit. Trying to keep those baby hairs, so to speak. And as always, this is the holding spray that I use. Now this is number 3. Like if you look on the can, this is number 3. It's medium hold. And here I just blow dry it in. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start from the center and make my way either right or left. It doesn't really matter. And I'm not gonna go way up here. I'm gonna keep it natural and go straight across. The Slimline Pro, this is pretty much my touch-up trimmer. I don't really use this for the majority of the hairline just because of the power issues, but it's really good for finishing up edge up. Now, a lot of people ask me why I do this, and it's something that you can't really explain until you try it yourself. Whenever you recline somebody back, you really get to see if the hairline is straight or not. It kind of gives you another perspective. Aside from the mirror, you can always use the mirror, but I found that this is a really helpful tool for me to recline them back and line them like this. You guys should try it and let me know what you think in the comments. Also, don't forget to check out the blog associated with this video. Just click the link below and it will take you straight there. Yeah, all I'm doing now is just applying some oil sheen, giving his hair a little curl, and we're pretty much done. So thank you guys for watching. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and be on the lookout for that 50K subscriber giveaway. And I will see you guys on the next video.
Mom, can I have these?
Honey, don't mess with their display, okay?
But blue is my favorite color.
These are for adults. Let's wait until after your turn and then we'll go to the store, okay, and get you a blue one.
Okay, Mommy.
Boom. What's up, everybody? Barber Time Buzz in the building. I'm here with the legendary Rough Ends. Gentlemen, appreciate and thank you for the opportunity to talk to you guys. How y'all doing?
Man, blessed, brother. All weekend, another day. You know
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
No, y'all thanks for having us. Again, this is a barbershop network. In the 90s, when I first thought of it, I was on radio. We listening to y'all. Like, you know what I mean? The club promoters are coming to drop off flyers because y'all was in the clubs. You know what I mean? And so for me, this is full circle.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So it's less like, I appreciate that.
Indeed, brother.
So what's
Shout out
going
to the street teams.
No doubt. Yeah, real talk. Like that.
Street teams,
the
stay in the
street team
barbershops.
is the impetus of what started the concept of the network. So shout out to the street teams.
Shout out to the street teams.
No doubt. Yeah, they're necessary.
Yeah.
So talk to me. Why are you guys here in Baltimore today? Because we're here at the All Natural Hair Show in Baltimore, the Baltimore Beard and Barber Battle, and you guys are in the building. My man Paul Jones just hit me off that you guys were in the building. Why are you guys here today?
Well, we got invited by my man Paul Jones. You know what I mean? We go way back like babies and pacifiers. So he hit us up, man. And we from Baltimore, so this is home for us. So
it is.
It's nothing like supporting our own. You know what I mean? And being a part of something positive that's gonna, move the culture forward. You know what I mean?
Black excellence, most definitely. And for me, on that whole, the black excellence and the camaraderie, we need to see that. And this whole concept started from the black barbershop. And then once Ice Cube came and dropped that movie, you kind of really saw it kind of explode into all of the cultures and everything.
Yeah, we was on that soundtrack.
This is what I'm talking about. It all started in our neighborhood. So you guys, again, this is full circle. And this is full circle. So what you guys gonna do today? You guys performing? Y'all gonna sing for the people?
Yeah, we're gonna sing a little something.
We gotta sing a little something.
We're gonna do a meet and greet, man, and just fellowship, brother. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of good things going on out there, man. So
build with these entrepreneurs out here.
Absolutely. You guys recording anything?
Yeah, we got a record out right now called Rebirth. At Official Rough Ends on Instagram. Go follow us right now. On Instagram and Facebook at Official Rough Ends. But the new project is called Rebirth. We got a joint with Crazy Bone on there that's fire. Just gotta check out the new project. And videos out right now. Go follow our YouTube channel and check out the latest visuals from us as well, man. We got soundtracks out. That's on Shots Fired. That's on the Pump soundtrack. That's on David Makes Man. So look all those movies up and check out our latest music.
Yeah, what's the Instagram again?
At Official Rough Ends.
Official
And that's RUFFENDZ.
No doubt. Y'all make sure y'all check them out. And all y'all barbershops, y'all know how we do. Get that on the air. Get them playing.
Yes, sir.
So what's next near future after these projects that you have?
Touring. We got some touring situations coming up. Australia. Back to Australia. We had a lot of continued love and success. Definitely here in the States as well.
Where's your favorite place to go perform outside of the States?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Oh man, that's nails on the chalkboard. That's a tough one.
Is it because it's competition and there's so many of them, or
it's the thing of how the fans love you different over there.
Yeah.
Right.
Like in America, I love the fans here, don't get me wrong. But y'all be a little wishy-washy, you know what I mean? They don't hear from you in a while.
Certain places though.
Certain places
like that. It's genuine.
But it's like everywhere we go. Like we did a tour last year with Khalees. It was a crazy lineup from Neo, 3LW, not 3LW, In Vogue, Mario. The lineup was crazy. Kelly Rowland, Christine Milian. It was crazy. We came up first on the lineup, and when you come up first on the lineup, especially over here, you worried about everybody being there, people getting there late, the house filling up. Man, they get there early. Like, one of the days I thought the least amount of people was going to be there, it probably was the most. It was like they was already there. You talking half hour early. They've been there partying, jamming already. All you see is raincoats because it was raining outside. Different color raincoats. Like, they outside like it's fun in the sun. Singing every word, every ad lib. They singing ad libs. We not singing on the song. Yeah, we doing other ad libs.
That's their shower version.
Right, man.
Listen,
so it's like
they know your name over there. Like they knew our birth names over there. Like it wasn't just Da Vinci and Chi. They were like David Chance.
like loud. Like the DJ stopped the music. They cut and stopped the music. They singing loud the whole song. You standing there and they'll literally sing the whole song. That gives you that warm, fuzzy feeling you had when you first started. Of when you first got on stage and you noticed that people knew the words to your song. And you was like, yo, they were singing the song. They were singing the song. It's that feeling like, like it give you butterflies almost. You feel me? So, we got places, but places overseas, I would say definitely like
top three.
New Zealand, Australia, London. No, you know what? The Netherlands.
Say word.
The Netherlands, like the Netherlands was an experience, and I had
both them and New Zealand. I always wonder about just because watching History Channel and all that stuff. They always wonder.
They gave us a tribal welcome in New Zealand.
That's what's up.
It was one of the dopest
Crazy.
Things I've experienced in my life. Crazy. Like you get off the plane. They met us at the door of the plane. One of the elders.
Yeah.
Guy, he like, you could tell they like related to like sumo.
Yeah.
They like got some of the same ancestral backgrounds. White guy got like a well tooth around his neck.
That's that wealth.
He came and he spoke real soft. He was like, we're gonna have a ceremony to keep you safe, and we value your presence here in New Zealand. This will always keep you as like one of the family. He's breaking it down, and he like just follow me. We looking like they had people that came 3 hours out the mountains. Our plane was late, so they literally was there for about 6-7 hours waiting for us with the tribal stuff on in a room just like this.
Exactly.
Bullshit talking, money walking.
We talking about my dude Ric Flair. Like, that's my spirit animal. Ric Flair Godzilla.
His whole vibe was like one of the brothers. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
So I mean, you guys would be more people, right? Y'all hometown here.
Most definitely.
Hometown. For sure.
Most definitely.
West Baltimore.
No, West B.
What's sweet?
No doubt.
He ate.
No doubt. Faye, just so we can encompass this whole thing, a little bit of barbershop talk. Something that happened in y'all's here from the barbershop that y'all remember.
Oh,
Because you
man.
mentioned OG, so that kind of was one. But I want y'all to give me some.
Yeah.
Or even that you heard. You know what I mean?
Just the neighborhood.
Don't rat nobody.
No, I'm saying just our neighborhood alone.
Yeah.
I'm saying when everybody that's listening that's not from B More, we average 350 murders a year. 350, 360. It's 360 days in a year, so you're talking a body a day.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? We not the size of like a New York. You know what I'm saying? You could fit Baltimore in New York, like you probably a few times. So you're talking about how do we even compare to a Chicago or a New York? So that alone is like, I mean, we almost like on I ain't gonna say everyone, but most of our projects, it was like the first project we did when we got back together. The black and white cover, cop that too.
Soul Brothers.
Soul Brothers. I'm your soul brother, #1. Come on, baby. You know what I mean? I had to plug that real quick.
Absolutely.
But
That's the job.
we was recording the Soul Brothers joint, and it was like where we had the studio at. It was like around the way, like off of Garrison and Ricestown, with the bar across the street. We over there recording one of our hottest songs on the album, and somebody getting stabbed on the corner, like the corner taped off. Somebody running off, police chase, like, you know what I mean? Like that's like always been, sorry to say, like the fuel to the fire when it comes to R&B music from the beginning. You know what I mean? Even back to the 5 Heartbeats like thing with a guy with the very beginning of the movie. They running from the guy. His boy got shot in the other leg, and he said, "Go ahead without me." He run to the stage. Oh, ain't got no money. Where you come from? You feel me? It's like that's real life for a lot of people.
No.
You know, we make it look pretty on the camera.
Y'all do it, but I mean, as soon as I told people I'm going to Baltimore, what do you think the first thing they say to me?
Watch
Be
out.
careful.
Wire. You know what I mean? The wire was shot there, be careful and all that. I'm like, listen, man, I go deal with my black people wherever they are. Like, I'm a barber. Like,
Exactly.
and so I'm used to dealing with people. So, and same people. So it's just like, regardless. But you guys, being from the neighborhood, from a hood specifically, and then growing up and coming and traveling the world, like, to me, and for me to be doing this, it's important because the next phase of what we're going to be doing as a company, but then as an industry, is grooming them young guns. You know what I mean? And they need to know things can be, and I need them hearing people that get out of it.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotta pay it forward.
Yeah, get out of it and do.
I gotta make one point while we at this juncture.
Talk.
A lot of people feel like if you're not gonna make it with a wicked jump shot, football, they don't see too many ways out.
No.
But one thing that I could definitely think about from the beginning, just sitting here, brothers like our brother Kurt, they used to cut our hair, a couple different people became entrepreneurs at an early age from cutting hair.
Yep.
Feel what I'm saying? So don't overlook it.
Nope.
Don't overlook it. You feel what I'm saying?
It's a gateway, boy.
You might be looking at rough ends today, but so many years ago, I was in my teens. I remember knocking on a brother basement window. Yo, Dre, yo, let me get a shape up. I'll pay you back. I got an interview down the Fudgery. You feel what I'm saying? Looking raggedy rough, boy. I get a haircut. I'm looking like, show me the money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? A fresh haircut will change your life. You understand what I'm saying?
Everything. Everything.
Get you that girl, get you that job.
Everything.
Confidence.
Take a bum off the street and give him a haircut and see how he look. He's gonna look like a different person.
We've done that.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'll pay for a few of them. Yeah, I'll pay for a few.
No doubt.
I'll pay for some of them.
No doubt.
You feel different with a haircut.
No, I just talked to, because one of the things I want to do is, again, my shop just burnt down, still hurt, and I got a bunch of old clippers. We're gonna start something where we start a little training grounds for some young guns. You know, learn how to cut, because it's time to start recruiting back, especially the young black barbers. And we're gonna do some things, and we're also gonna get some barbers and stylists certified in mental health, peer support, marketing, sales, like all of those other things. But then I want to start them young as well, because it's like, listen, like you said, stop chasing all those other things. Look at the entrepreneurs in you. There it is.
It's a hair store in every hood.
There it is.
In every corner almost.
Because
Like,
there's
that's
millions of people
market.
in every city.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? So carve your own. So, all right. I don't want to hold too much of you guys' time. I know you guys about to go and perform.
That's dope, bro.
You guys made it easy for me, so I appreciate that. This is Barber Time Buzz. Y'all know who I am and do what I do. This is Rough Ends. My brothers from Baltimore. Thank you. Appreciate it. 1,000%. 1,000%. Paul, if y'all can give me that one time, Barber Time all the time.
Yeah.
Barber Time all the time. No doubt. Let's go.
Let me do a drop for y'all real quick.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chi.
And I'm Da Vinci.
And we're Rough Ends. And this is Barber Time all the time.
My G's.
Barber Time Buzz.
Say Barber Time Buzz, because this is the Barber Time Buzz.
Okay.
Like the show is the Barber
this
Time
is
Buzz.
nice.
The hashtag is Barber Time all the time.
Yep.
Hey, what's up? I'm Chi.
And I'm Da Vinci.
And we're Rough Ends. And this is the Barber Time Buzz.
No doubt. Gentlemen, thank you guys. I
Appreciate you, good brother.
Really good.
Appreciate
When
you.
we get that program going up, we're going to
reach out and
switch. Yep.
What's going on YouTube? It is your boy Josh back with another haircut tutorial, and as you guys can see today we got a little wavy client. About to give him a nice bald fade, clean the beard up and line it up real good. Y'all about to see how we get down. And if you guys are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure you guys go down and smash that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on too, so you guys don't miss out on any new drops. So right after getting the hair combed out, I'm going to come in with my 1.5 guard with the lever all the way closed, going with the grain to knock off all the bulk that we don't need. And as I'm doing this, I'm paying attention to the way that his hair grows in different patterns, so I won't gap him or anything. You guys want to make sure you pay attention to the small details when cutting hair, because one mistake can cost the whole haircut. And as y'all can see, man, that 1.5 got the waves popping. It got the hair laying down real good. And if you guys notice, after a couple strokes, when I go over the head, I always come back with my brush. The brush, it kind of releases all the hair that's already cut out of the hair. So it kind of resets the hair to let you know what's still there and what's already been cut. As soon as I get the hair cut down to the height that I want it to, I'll go right into setting in my first guideline, which is the bald line. And like I said, we're going to be giving him a high fade, so I'm not going to be dropping it too low under the occipital bone. I'm going to keep it kind of level with it, you know, right in the middle. And we're going to be doing that. So after I have the guidelines set in how I want all the way around, I come back with my trimmers and I just clean up all this extra hair, making sure that I get all the hair gone. You want to make sure you get like literally every piece of hair, because you want your haircut to be flawless. You can't leave anything behind. So this right here is something that I do that helps me when taking out that first guideline. After I'm done setting in that initial bald line, I come behind it and I kind of taper at it with my trimmers a little bit. It kind of breaks up that harsh guideline, making it easier for the clippers to take it out. But a big factor in this is making sure that your clippers are zero gapped, because it's all in the way that your system is balanced. So if your clippers are zero gapped, you have the capacity to be able to take out that guideline with the clippers itself. So using the trimmers, making it even easier, it just helps you out when taking out that first guideline. And right here I'm setting in that first guideline with no guard on, with the lever all the way open, with my caliber 50 cal BMG clippers going up about a ½ inch. And I'm making sure that I'm keeping the width the same all the way around, because I want my fade to be balanced all the way around on every guideline. So right here I got the clipper with the lever, I think 1 notch from all the way closed, and I'm just kind of going to be starting up under that guideline, that bald line, and just flicking up to the bald line. And then once I kind of get it light how I want it and set it up for the kill, I close the clipper all the way closed, and it kind of just blends it out perfectly. It's just the way that I have these clippers set. They're zero gaps, so I got a good system in between the notches and how the blade cuts, and all you have to do is just understand your clippers and you can really do some dangerous haircuts. So usually when I'm taking out this guideline, I kind of do a lot of detail work, so you'll see me opening and closing my clipper a lot depending on the area, because sometimes the hair doesn't react to the clippers how it should, and you have to adjust it to get it, you gotta kind of get that detail work and do that corner blending technique. So right here we're going to be jumping right into the next guideline, which is the number 1 guard with the lever all the way open. And I'm going to go up about a ½ an inch, 3/4 of an inch. Like I said, we're going to be doing a high bald fade. So right here is going to kind of be the area where I kind of stop fading up. I'm going to start my fading down process after this guideline. But let's break this guideline down. And you guys remember to make sure your width of your guidelines are the same all the way around the head. You know what I'm saying? No matter where we at in the haircut, I'm keeping everything balanced because I want my fade to be consistent all the way around and on both sides. So after going in with the number 1 guard all the way open, to fade out this guideline, I'm going to be dropping down to the number 1 guard closed. As you guys can see right now, I have the number 1 guard with the lever all the way closed. And I'm starting right up under the guideline and just flicking up halfway into the area that I went in with the number 1 guard open, because that's going to create a transition. So it's going to transition down from 1 guard open to 1 guard closed. Then I'm going to end it off with the half guard, and I'm going to go about halfway into the area that I did with the number 1 guard closed, and that should create my blend. And like I said, right here I have my half guard on. Usually when I start on my half guard, sometimes I close the lever halfway just to get an idea, because sometimes different people's hair react to the half guard differently, and sometimes when it's all the way closed it cuts too much. It just depends on how fine and thin the hair is, but usually I always end up closing it all the way, and I do like a lot of detail work. So now that we're done with that guideline, we're not going to be creating any more guidelines for the rest of this haircut. I'm just going to be fading down, starting right here with my number 2 guard with the lever all the way open. And the reason why I chose the number 2 guard all the way open is because on top we cut the hair down to a 1.5 closed with the grain. So when fading a bald fade into a 1.5 closed with the grain, you usually want to go with a number 3 guard or a number 2 guard open, just depending on the hair texture. And I felt like a number 2 guard open was going to be perfect for him, and it came out perfect. So I'm just going to be fading down from the number 2 guard, then from the number 2 guard open, then I'm going to drop down to the number 2 guard with the lever all the way closed, and just go right back behind every step that I did with the 2 guard open, but I don't go up as high. So basically I'm just creating a transition. So right here I'm going in with my number 1.5 guard. Like I said, we're fading down, so I walk down from the highest guard all the way down to the smallest until the fade is completely blended. Right here I have it with the number 1.5 guard all the way closed, and I'm just starting right up under the dark area and just flicking up to it. Basically the whole goal of down fading is coming behind the previous guard but not going up as high. So basically you're leaving the hair shorter and shorter and shorter as you fade down, which creates your fade. So that's why I follow my guards in a systematic step, because it helps make the haircut so simple. That's why I go from 2 guard open to 2 guard closed to 1.5 open to 1.5 closed to the 1 guard open, and it just blends the whole haircut together perfectly. So we're almost done with this fade. Right here I'm going in with the number 1 guard on with the lever all the way open, and I'm just trying to blend right up into that 1.5 area, because we've gotten to the bottom of the fading down process, and we're at the area now where we want to make the fade come all together and do all the detail work that we need to do. And you guys, to be honest, on some clients you might have to put in a little bit more time on getting certain lines out. Like right here on some textures of hair, it might fade right out, you know what I'm saying? Everything is just perfect, and sometimes you can follow the exact steps and there's like dark spots here, dark spots there, so you have to spend a lot of time really opening and closing the lever, you know, getting in certain positioning in some parts of the fade to make it blend, because some hair is just stubborn sometimes. Y'all see it, man, this fade is coming together nicely. I mean, look how smooth it is. We're not even done yet, but I mean, just really listen to what I'm saying, man. Y'all can learn something. So right here I'm going to be doing some more detail work. I'm going with the grain with the 1 guard open across the front of the hairline to help prep for the hairline, and also right on the edge of the fade so I can connect that side a little more. I don't like that dark heavy area right there, so I'm gonna do a little bit more detail work just to get that looking like how I want it. But other than that, man, we mostly done with this fade. So right here what I'm doing is I have the Barber's guards, and I'm going in with the number 2 guard with the lever all the way open. Then I'm gonna close it, and then I'm gonna come back with the 1.5 guard with the lever open and close it. Basically, instead of using the wall number 2 guard, I'm using the Barber's number 2 guard, because I feel like the wall number 2 guard is kind of thicker. So I did that, and then I came back with the 1.5 Barber's guard. That's the original 1.5 I used in the beginning, but it kind of just made the fade come out way smoother like I wanted it to. But y'all see the fade is looking good. Now we're gonna move into the beard. I'm gonna pick it out. We're gonna be knocking it down. Then we're gonna show y'all how to do a beard fade. So I'm knocking this beard down to a number 3 guard with the lever all the way open, and I'm just going to go with the grain. And when I go under the neck, I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit, just because some of the hair grows in different directions. So when I'm doing my beard fade technique, it's kind of similar to when I'm doing my fading down technique. I start with no guard on, then I close it halfway to blend out that guideline. Then I pick up the biggest guard that I need at the bottom of the beard, and then I fade up towards the top of the beard by getting smaller guards, and it creates a fade. And if you guys notice, the smaller the guard, the higher I am in the beard, because that's the fading zone for that particular guard. So right here I'm going to prep the hairline with some holding spray and come behind it with the blow dryer to get the hair to lay down and lock in where I need it to. And you guys, using my Barber's Low Pro FX trimmers with the gold FX blade on it, I'm going in and I'm setting in that fire lineup. I'm going to sit back and let you guys watch this lineup unfold the haircut. Sometimes when the hair acting funny, I got to grab the hair a little bit to get that pinpoint lineup that I need, because sometimes the hair acts stubborn and don't want to move, so I got to kind of keep the head more still. And y'all, we keeping this lineup all natural. It's already coming out clean. Let me know what y'all think about it in the comments. So right here we're going to be jumping into the beard line, and this is going to be super satisfying to watch how clean these lines came out and how uniform it made it look all the way around. So we got my guy all lined up from the hairline all the way to the beard. You know, I had to come behind it with that razor to make sure it's sharp to a T, man. We need it smooth all the way to the skin. Like I said, all natural cut, man. The fade came out crazy. We got the waves popping on top. But I let y'all see the before and after at the end. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, man. I really hope you learned something. And I love giving y'all these videos and giving out some free game and some entertainment to some people. Make sure y'all leave a thumbs up too, man. Leave some comments on the video. Y'all know we had to get my boy right. He came in and said, y'all, I need this beard chopped down and I need the crispiest fade you ever did. Y'all know he came to the right spot. Check him out. Y'all know I got my dog turned up, man. Fade crispy, line crispy. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this haircut. And make sure if you guys aren't subscribed to the channel, you subscribe and you turn that notification bell on. Leave a thumbs up on this video too for the algorithm so I can keep growing. And you can follow me on Instagram at JoshXBarber like you see on the top of the video. Peace.
Fellow barbers, we have gotten to a place we are not sure that this one machine that all barbers use, that we can depend on it any longer. We found ourselves lost, hiding our endless masters in our drawers. But what if I told you there was a change? What if I told you there was another side that seems like there can be hope for the endless masters? What if I told you this is true? Alright YouTube, so basically what we're going to do right now is go into Lowe's and get all the products that you need to make the Andis Masters a lot quieter than what they are. So come on, follow me, make sure y'all put your mask on. So this is going to be the first item that you're going to need. It's going to change out the top. It's going to change out the top area where you open up the Andis Masters. You'll see that black. In the video, I'll show you guys later. But what I use for this is that I use outlet sealer. It's basically it works with stuff that's already electrical, and the padding is a lot thicker than the one that's in the Masters. So this is why I use this. So this is the first item right here. So let's grab this, let's look for the next item. Alright, so the next thing you're going to need is electrical tape. I use the black one. If you have not seen Tito Cut's method of how to get them silent, I believe he used this black tape. But this is definitely still, you need this. This goes for $2.88. I believe this one for like $2 as well. So right now we're at $5. And now we got one more item to get, and once I find that, I'll show you. you'll see that I had to get help because I don't know why this time I couldn't find it. But
because you don't know how to look.
I don't. The next thing you're gonna need, honestly, this is probably the most important one out of these two. It is. Boom. That's the secret sauce. Earplugs. I'm not sure why this foam works the best, but earplugs is the best thing. This is a 10 pair, usually you get from Lowe's. This is $3. I said we was at 5, so this is a total of $8. Under $10, you can make your masters one of the silent clippers now by using all 3 of these. I'm gonna go to my house. I'm gonna show you guys exactly how to put all this together to make your masters. The next big thing, this is a problem for a lot of people that has that loud noise with the Anderson masters. And these 3 products right here, I'm showing you guys will definitely silence your clipper, all right? So let's get to that. Let's get to the curtain. All right, so I said I was gonna do this at home. However, I did do the video. This is me doing part 2 because I feel like it could have done better. So I'm doing it at the shop, and here we go. So here's everything that you guys are going to need. As you guys see, these are the things that I bought from Lowe's. These are the tools that you're going to need, and I took off the blade already from the masters. So this is everything that you're going to need to make your masters really, really silent, better than what they were. So let's get right into it. So basically, the first thing you're going to want to do is you want to take off this, if you have this on your masters. If you don't, and then you don't have to worry about that. But you want to open this bad boy up. And the reason for that is you're going to be using this. So let's open this up. Now when you open this up, you are going to have a piece. It's not going to look like this. This is why we're switching it out. And you're going to have a piece that's just going to be like between the wiring and this covering. So what you're going to do is take this off, and you're going to really cut out the same exact thing that's in there and switch it out with this. And if you do that, you'll notice that this material is a lot more thicker. So the vibrations of the masters, and it won't be as strong. It'll be more silent just in that alone. So I think this is a real important thing to do. Make sure that you cut it in the exact way. It has that space and everything like that. So when you put it on here by itself, it should look just like the other one. And just take your time. There's no perfect way to do it. But I just took mine out. I laid it on top of this piece, and I just molded it. And once you do that, you'll have your inside piece done. And honestly, that's like one of the most easiest parts. Let me just get this right. Lay this back down. We're going to screw this back in. And this is one of the most easiest adjustments to do. But I did make sure that I did get something that was better between this casing and the wires, just because I feel like the other one's more flimsy. This is more sturdier. The next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to get your earplugs, and this is very, very important. Honestly, the earplugs is probably one of the most important things about this modification. How you cut these is very important. You have these prongs right here, and that's where these earplugs are going to go. But these are way too big how they come, so you have to cut it down. I'm going to try my best to just show you guys the first time, but it did take me some time to understand how they should look. So I'll show you how mine's look at the end. It's not perfect, but that's how mine's look. See how the difference? You want it to look like that. So this is what I did. Since I know how I want mine to look, I basically almost do like half. So I cut half, and then I work with this right here. Now, of course, when you know about earplugs, when you squeeze them, they stay there, but they do come out. They do stretch back out, and that was the main reason why I even use earplugs anyway, because of the flexibility and the comfort, but they're still strong and sturdy to be used, so when you're moving back and forth, it doesn't cling or hit anything. But it also is flexible to shrink, which is also needed as well. Because a lot of people probably look at this video and say, oh, you're doing a lot of damage to your clipper. But here's the reason why it took me so long to do this, because I wanted to make sure there was no damage to the clipper. So anyway, once you do that, once you cut it off halfway, you are going to try to make it skinnier. So just cut off just a little bit of the edges. Not too much, because you, like I said, you want it to not cling on to other stuff and bang and make that noise. So, like I said, when you squeeze it, it shrinks. So this is like perfect. Mine's can get just like this. I'll show you guys. I just squeezed it and it looks just like this. But when you let it sit, it's going to stretch back out, which you want it to do. And let me just clean this up for now. You want this to look just like this. You want it to stretch out. This is a big difference, and it's very, very key. So that being said, okay, so once you got both of them done, I'm just doing one for right now, but once you got both of them done, they look like this. Now you need to find something that's the same size as these prongs, right? So if you guys ever had the Beam Team Cordless Expressor, this is what cleans any like airbrushes, if you have any of that. See what matches up to the same exact size of this, right? And I found it. This basically matches up to this. And the reason why you want to do that is because you want to make a hole in the middle. Now carefully do that. You don't want to be like really, really aggressive with it. But try to create a hole in the middle. If you find like a safety pins works best too, but I didn't have one right here at the shop right now. So I'm just twisting and I'm going, but don't go all the way to the top. If you can see through, if you can see the metal or whatever you're using through this, then you went too far. You just want to go just kind of close, but not too close, and make sure that you're really creating a hole there, because you want to easily put this on the masters, and then you have your hole. Once you do that, you test it. Put this on top of the prong, and you can squeeze it tight. I know that you don't want it to be too crazy, and I know that this is a perfect fit. Like I said, it looks crazy, but I guarantee you this works. That's the perfect fit for that. So that one worked. So I'm gonna get my originals, and honestly, I can cut this down a little bit, even my own original, so y'all don't look like y'all look completely different from mine. Okay, so I got these two sitting. Now I'm gonna get this out the way because we're done with that. We're done with the earplugs, and now we're gonna be working on the tape. If you haven't seen Tito Cut's video, he used black tape, and the black tape does help take down the noise a little bit. But if you really want to do like a double whammy, because this is basically what this is right now, is that the prongs is the reason why. It's because this piece right here, the little place where the prongs sit in, is too wide for one, so you're always going to hear a clash of metal and plastic because how strong the clipper is, the motor is. So the black tape, it softens that up once you put the prongs in, that it's not that much clashing. But when you do with the earplugs in this, you should really hear your clipper be silent and not damaging it, because that's key as well. Like, I'm not trying to mess nobody's clippers up. This is just for those that really cannot stand that sound and you want to try it. Just give it a try and see how you like it. I guarantee you, honestly, this is the only way I'm using my masters. Just being honest. So we're going to get the black tape. Get that out the way. Going to get the black tape, and I only probably use about that much. I'll use about this much. I'm not sure how much this is, might be like 2 inches, but only use that much. Get my scissors, cut that, and now I'm going to tweak this and cut more, but I'm just showing you how I do it. Let me get this out the way real quick. So basically, like I said, Tito Cuts also did it as well, but what I do is I cover the top first, and then I get the corners, and depending on what kind of black tape you got, some's like real sticky and some's not. This one is not that sticky, but I kind of just need it just because of the texture, the consistency. And this one I could stretch it a little bit, so I try not to keep it, the black tape, I try not to put it all the way up here. I like to not see that while I'm cutting. So what I do is I put it right under that little nozzle, whatever this little bump is. I like to put let me see, wherever this bump is, I like to put the tape literally right there. And I try to hold it there. Sometimes it doesn't want to hold. Boom. And then I'll stretch it around the corner. And the reason why I do that is because it is for some reason this tape that I have is stretchable, and I feel like it holds it down better. And I stretch it around the corner. Boom. Now, those grooves, you get your thumb and go right into the grooves. Get your thumb, go right into the grooves. Boom. Because that's the main thing that you really want to protect. Now you have all this extra tape, and that's the tape I'm going to cut, because the main thing I cared about is getting the tape in the grooves and letting it stay, and then you have all of this extra right here. I do not keep all of this. I will cut that, because like I said, this is not about damaging a clipper. It's just trying to keep it silent without messing up anything internally. Even this, then I will cut a slit right here, just so I can really bend it down so it doesn't really mess anything up. Like I said, I like to keep everything as is. I'm just trying to add a layer of this tape, because it does help silence. Alright, so now that I did that, it's time to put it on the clipper. And I know this looks crazy, but I promise you, it works. So what I do is I take it from like this, and I try to make sure that when I press down lightly, it does just sink in, which it does, because if it doesn't automatically just sink in like that, that means you left too much. So now I close it, and you can't see anything. I closed it, it's good. When I let go, it does pop up, which is a good thing. You don't want it to be too much. You want it just right. So when you close it, keep your thumb on that, and then it's time to put the top steel blade on. I think, so make sure they're both tight. And that's that. Yeah, I want to hear how it sounds. Here it goes. And that's open. And goes. You still got the power. You got everything that you want. And I'm telling you right here, right now, if you love the Masters and you want them silent, this will work. So thank y'all for watching this video. I appreciate y'all. If you have any comments, if this is something that you're nervous to do and you want me to do it, reach out to me and I'll definitely try to accommodate you, giving you a price and everything like that. But I really felt like this is something I thought I could share with everybody. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. But we got them back, y'all. They silent. Be blessed, y'all. You have a good one. All right, YouTube. So I know I just showed you guys how I silence the Masters. I know you guys heard how they sound, but I promise you they sound different with, you know, other clippers. It did sound like they sounded real loud, so this is why I'm doing this video, or this part of the video. I have a decibel. However you rate the sound of something, I have that. So we're gonna do a few of my clippers. Let's do my seniors. Let's hear how they sound and what they get up to. So they're at 80. Let's do my JRLs. They're at 63. Now, let's do the Masters. I told you they got quieter. So let's see if they got any quieter than the seniors. Let me see, because I can't see. They're right at 75. They're quieter than these seniors that I have right here. And I promise you, when you hear this in the shop, it's not much of a difference. And that's the reason why I made this video, so you guys can really hear how they sound to other clippers. Because for some reason, I'm not sure why, when you just do one clipper, it sounds so when you just doing one clipper, it sounds like it's just crazy loud for no reason. So let me know what y'all think. Like I said, hit me up and I'll try to help you out if you do not want to do this yourself. Take it easy.
I'll never forget this. The first day when we left that meeting, he said, "You better keep up. You better keep up." Name is Tim Grover. I worked with Michael Jordan for 15 years. Everyone knows me as his trainer, but my official title was a sports enhancement specialist. If you walk into a gym and I've worked with you for 2 weeks, you're not my client. If I passed you a ball for 1 day and I shot video of you, you're not my client. I define a client of mine who's worked with me for numerous years. Scottie Pippen, numerous years. Charles Barkley, numerous years. Akeem Olajuwon, numerous years. Michael Jordan, numerous years. Kobe Bryant, numerous years. Dwayne Wade, numerous years. I mean, those are the top individuals. I have others that have had successful careers. I played college basketball at University of Illinois at Chicago. I've always been a basketball buff, so I actually did my thesis on strength and conditioning for basketball players. When I graduated college, I had a master's degree in exercise science, and I always knew I wanted to train professional athletes. The only way you could really train professional athletes was working for a professional organization. I wanted to work more with individuals. So I actually wrote letters to all the players on the Chicago Bulls organization. And back then, there was no email. I wrote 14 letters to 14 different players. There are 15 players on a basketball team. The one person I did not write the letter to was Michael Jordan. I didn't get any response back, but I did get a call from the athletic trainer, Mark Feil at the time, saying, "Hey, we have a client that may be interested in your services. We want you to meet this individual, be at the house at 1 o'clock. So I go over there, I knock on the door. And guess who opens the door? I got a chance to sit with him for 30 minutes, told him what my philosophies were, what I could do for him. And he was looking for somebody that wanted to work directly with him. When you work with a team, you have a certain schedule. You're set on whatever the team schedule is. He wanted somebody that was a little bit more flexible, and then somebody that would focus in on his body, because everybody's needs are a little different. That was my path to him. I said, you know, give me 30 days, let's see what happens. And 30 days turned into 15 years. He had gave me a list of what he was doing before. I said, tell me what you'd like to incorporate, what you'd like to keep out of this program. He goes, well, I want to start fresh. I want to start totally fresh. So my first thing with him was, all right, I don't care how fast you are, how high you jump. I said, none of that matters if you're constantly getting injured, if you're starting to have little nagging injuries. And one thing that he was very susceptible to was groin pulls and ankle injuries. So I said, let's address those things first. The more healthy you are, the better you'll be able to play. And I said, let's worry about being quicker, stronger, faster later. And most people put the concept of we need to make you quicker, stronger, faster first. The quicker, stronger, faster you make an individual, the more susceptible they are to injuries. Because they don't know how to handle that extra speed. They don't know how to handle that extra quickness. They don't know how to handle that extra power. When you do those things, you got to learn how to stop too. So everyone teaches you how to go, go, go. No one teaches you how to stop. So my big philosophy was him, all right, let's deal with the injuries that you have. Let's take care of those things first. And by doing that, the more healthier you get, it's automatically going to improve your game. His obsession to win and to compete on the basketball court and everything he does was the same way that I felt. My obsession to help an athlete get better, to keep them injury-free, to play every single game. And if something didn't work, it was like, I always felt it was like my fault. You know, if he missed a game-winning shot, even though I wasn't out on the basketball court, well, what could I have done better? If he was more fresh, if he was in better condition, or if he turned an ankle, or if he jammed a finger, I'd automatically start thinking in my head, did I do too much? Didn't I do enough? Why did I leave that exercise out? I should have done this. So it's the constant rewind of everything over and over again to do it next time even better. Everyone knows Michael is a huge foundation and fundamentals guy. All the crazy stuff that you see him doing in the air and all the fancy moves, he never practiced those. He practiced the fundamentals because he knew if he could master the fundamentals, master the foundation, those other moves would automatically come. That was the same philosophy I had. We started off with just the basic compound movements that you would see any strength and conditioning individual do. You know, anything from bench press and dumbbell presses to cleans to deadlifts to squats, all the basic stuff to build the foundation first. During the off season, we would go anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours. As we got closer to the season, the intensity increased and the time became a little short. It would be about an hour to 90 minutes. And then once the season started, the workouts were anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes. If there were certain things he just didn't want to do, he would always say, no gimmicks. I want proven stuff, I want proven facts, I want proven results. Because that's what he was all about. He was about proving himself every single game, every single practice, that he was the best athlete, the best basketball player every single day. A lot of trainers come in and they ask the client, how do you feel? It's your job to know how the client feels. You should have paid attention to how many minutes he played, how physical the game was, whether they won or lost, what kind of mental state this person is after a win, what kind of mental state is he in after a loss. And back then, remember, a lot of the games weren't even televised live, so you'd have to stay up late. I had to record the games on and then get up early the next morning and watch them before I could see my client. I was as obsessed as he was, but I needed to know. Now everyone, you have the Fitbits that, you know, count the person's step. I would literally write down how many steps he took every single basketball game. I have pieces of paper still now. I would rewind it, watch it again, rewind it, watch it again, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how many steps he took in the first quarter. This is how many he took in the second. These how many he took to the left. This is how many he took to the right, forward, back, all this stuff. So that way I could understand which body part and which angle he used most, which one he used less, and the training programs were totally developed around that methodology. If you look in a game and you notice that they have a tendency to pull 50% more to the right and only 20% to the left, well, if you're going equal distance when they're training, it's not going to correlate to the court. He would go so much more in one direction, you didn't want to overuse that side, so you'd put the emphasis there. But that was the adjustments that somebody who's obsessive, you notice and you pay attention to. You're not going to take a superstar who's that good and increase their abilities by 10% during an off season. It's just not going to happen. They're looking for that 1% of how can I get better. Every single year, it has to show improvement. If it doesn't show improvement, then I'm not keeping up with them. So I would tell Michael, I'm going to create more power, more strength, and more force for you. Now it's your job to learn how to control it and what you do with it. That's not my expertise. Whether I worked with Michael or not, he was still going to be the greatest basketball player ever. I helped him stay there a little bit longer. When we first started training him, we always did it after practice. With the amount of minutes he was playing, the physicality and so forth, I was like, Michael, we have to make this adjustment. I said, there's just not enough time. Let's move it before practice. Let's make it the first thing you do in the morning. After each workout, after each game, after each practice, I would ask him one question. I would say 5, 6, or 7. And he would either give me a number or he would put up a hand. So if he did this, that means be at the house at 5 a.m. If he did 6, it was be at the house at 6, it was time to be at 7. And that's how the Breakfast Club evolved. He invited Scottie Pippen and then Ron Harper, and they would work out every single morning. Big elaborate setup in the basement downstairs. Each one had a little different program because they all had needs that were particular to those individuals. And afterwards, if you showed up for the workout, you got a chance to eat breakfast upstairs. Those guys never missed a workout. They never missed a workout. Because if you missed a workout, the tongue lashing and the trash talking Michael would talk to you at practice that next morning, you're better off making it to the workout and not having to hear his mouth than to show up at practice knowing you missed the workout. I don't consider it tough. I consider it accountability. He was like, if I train this hard, I play this hard, I practice this hard, if I can go 38 minutes in a game and come to practice the next day, be taped up, ready to go, and practice as hard as I possibly can, why can't you? People know the game was so much more physical back then. Nowadays, you can go around the players. Back in those days, you had to go through them, around them, over them, under them. You had to develop all those things. So the Detroit Pistons were his main nemesis, but it was also like he wanted to be known as the most dominant player ever. Michael was up for anybody. He didn't care. Every game, every practice, every off day was circled on Michael's calendar. He would go into practice wanting to destroy anybody and everybody in practice. And he said, the harder I practice, the easier the game will become. He did everything to an extreme so it would actually make the games much easier for him. It worked. Every single practice, every single training session, every single game, Michael always gave you a wow moment. When they won their first championship and they were playing the Los Angeles Lakers, they lost the first game. And I remember him telling me, he goes, we're winning this series. I saw everything I needed to see. Every loss was a learning experience. It was an education thing. He didn't beat himself up over it. Michael C's got this great statement. He goes, I never lost a game. I just ran out of time. He played between 213 and 218. That was his weight. And depending on whether they were going to handle him more physically, whether he needed to be a little bit more finesse, being able to jump a little higher, jump a little faster. So the adjustments were constantly made, but it was more to keep his body at a chronological age that wasn't the same as his physiological age. Now that he was getting up there, 29, 30, 31, I still wanted his body to be able to perform as though it was 2 years younger. As an athlete gets older, there's certain types of muscle fibers that have a tendency not to work the same way, and you have to continue to work those at a rapid pace. So I don't need you to be stronger anymore, because there is a point of no return with an athlete where they can actually become too strong or they can become too big, and it actually has an adverse effect on how they train. So what happened was, as we got older, his weights actually got lighter, but the movements got faster. The idea was, okay, I need you to move this amount of weight from point A to point B faster than you did last year. The workouts became shorter in duration, but increased in intensity. As his star grew, there was less time for me, because there's more time needed for endorsements, different travel, family. So I'm not gonna say, hey, listen, I still need 3 hours a day. I still need 2 hours a day. What are the variables? What are the things that I need to keep in? How can I still get the same results in a 2-hour workout in 45 minutes now? Well, as the body slows down, how about if we have the brain to see things faster, to be able to recognize things ahead of time? I can't have you lifting the weight at the same speed, but you have the ability to process information faster because you have more knowledge, you have more understanding. So that's why we started to do different things with lights and objects and so forth. Like when he would be tired, I would give him something to think about, some kind of puzzle to figure out, some kind of light thing to figure out, so that, hey, while the brain is tired, let's challenge it. Because if resistance makes your muscles grow, well, resistance makes the brain sharper. I didn't travel with him because I never worked for the organization. So I was not allowed on the team plane. I'd have to book my own flights, have everything set up before he got there, scope the different local gyms and see what's going on. Phil Jackson had told Michael that he couldn't travel with his golf clubs anymore. So it became my responsibility to take his golf clubs. Even if he wasn't going to play, to me, that was part of his training regimen. I knew how relaxed it made him from a mental standpoint. It helped him get into the zone. If you watch the old videos of the Beatles, how people used to surround them, imagine that's how it was with him wherever he went. Individuals would literally hand their children and just say, just touch my baby, because they thought he had this like magical power that were like, it was the craziest thing. And once he was in the hotel, he couldn't leave. So golf was the one place where he could go somewhere. The taking of the clubs was as important from a mental standpoint from him. His mind could literally be off of basketball and the obsession of everybody else around him. And just by observing things and by tracking to see if he played golf, what was his mental state afterwards? What were the results in the game? If he ate this, did he score more points? Did he score less? If he took a nap at 4 and he got up at 5:30, if he took a nap at 2 and got up at 3, what were the outcomes of the game? Every little bit. If he drank a certain glass of wine, whatever, I paid attention to everything and how it related to the end result. The training for baseball is completely different than the training for basketball. The easiest way to give an example is when you play basketball, there's a certain amount of arc that goes on a basketball shot to maximize the space on the rim. When you throw a baseball from right field, you can't put an arc on the ball. It's got to be from point A to point B as fast as you can. So you have to retrain the whole shoulder muscle, what movement it's going to do. So the exercises we did for basketball were not applicable for baseball. The way you swing when you lead with your hips, completely different in baseball when you're swinging a bat than when you're stepping into a basketball shot. The funniest thing was when he got there in the minor leagues, those guys were a lot younger than him. In all the conditioning drills, he was lapping everybody there. He was like the first one done. And Michael always did more. So if you told him, back and forth 10 times, he's going to do 12, he's going to do 13. That's just his competitive nature. He said, I'm not going to let anybody outdo me. during my off time between his retirement and when we started the baseball training, I had already started to put a workout together and started to do my research and homework, saying if he ever comes back, what's going to happen from a physiological standpoint? What will we have to do in order to get him back? When he came back and he started to play, we had a discussion with him, and I said, Michael, there's not enough time to transition your body, because he came back at the end of that season, and I said, there's not enough time to transition your body from baseball to basketball. For you to be playing at the optimal level that you were before, I said, there just isn't enough time. Now, from a skill standpoint, that's on you. Okay, but I'm just telling you from a performance standpoint, there just isn't. When that happened, I don't remember the day that they lost that game to Orlando. I think it was a home game. We were the last ones in the arena. We're getting ready to leave out. And I said, Michael, I'll see you. He goes, I'll see you tomorrow. So that training process started right away. A lot of athletes mature physically, but they don't mature mentally. Michael's game not only became sharper physically, but it also became more defined and more sharper from a mental standpoint. He knew when to use energy, when to conserve it. He knew how to intimidate the opponent without having to say a word. We talk about this in our book, Relentless. He was known as one of the biggest trash talkers out there. But he didn't trash talk to get into the opponent's head. He would trash talk to get into his own head, because now whatever he said, he had to go out and back it up. So if he went and told you, I'm going to give you 50, that wasn't to put pressure on the opponent. That was to put pressure on himself to say, now I've said this, I have to deliver. Because his expectations were always greater than what anybody else put on him. I actually moved to Washington with him. It was a 2-year period. And they didn't get into the playoffs, they didn't win as much. But the biggest accomplishment, and if I remember right, his last year at the age of 40, he played 82 games. Listen, you want your team to win. You want him to have the trophy, because that's the ultimate prize. But you have to set individual goals for yourself. As the trainer of the greatest athlete, you can't set a realistic goal. You can't set, I'd be happy if he plays 70 games. You have to set an unrealistic goal saying, I want him healthy enough, physically and mentally, to play every single game. A cooler is an individual who's good at what they do. You give them a job to do, they get that job done. Nothing exceptional. There used to be this term on sports, and they still use it now, that that person's a closer. Where the closer is, they would hit the game-winning shot, or the pitcher that comes in the game, or somebody hits the home run. Closer's an individual that's great at what they do. They produce that end result as long as many variables aren't thrown at them. When I was watching Michael and they would call him a closer, I would just say, you cannot classify him just like everybody else. I have this concept, it's called a cleaner. A cleaner is an individual that delivers that end result over and over again, no matter what's thrown at them. They deliver multiple championships, multiple aha moments, multiple end results. And that's what Michael did. And because he never really stopped, because here's the one thing, his obsession with the game was whenever you said he couldn't do something, it became a challenge to him. It was like, all right, Michael, you can't win a championship leading the league in scoring. Yes, you can. So I'm going to go lead the league in scoring and win a championship. Michael, you can't lead the league in scoring and be the best defensive player in the league. Yes, I can. I can lead the league in scoring, win a championship, and be the most dominant player on both ends of the court. So whatever somebody challenged him about, it was like, I could show you. The way I described him is you weren't going to a basketball game. You were going to a performance. It was like going to a ballerina. It was like going to the opera. If you ever went to the United Center when Michael was playing, people would literally be dressed up in suits, ties. The women would be in evening gowns, and When the buzzer went off in the introduction, everybody was in their seats. You did not want to miss a moment because you never knew what he was going to do. In every single game, every single moment, he never disappointed you. He's the one that set the trend of basketball players lifting, basketball players training, individuals having their own individual. Your superstars, they're not afraid to share their knowledge, their expertise, what they did. That's how I got to Kobe, was through Michael. He was the one that recommended me. He's the one that says, hey, this is why don't you try my guy? They're not afraid to do that because you know what? It forces them to elevate their game because they know there are no secrets out there. There are no secrets. You look at the top athletes, they'll lay everything out on the table. Receiving the information is free. There's no cost to that. The price comes in is what you do with that information, and most people just aren't willing to pay the price, or they're not willing to pay the price long enough. Michael paid the price all the time, every single practice, every single off day, every single game.
Michael Jordan, a $4 million a year superstar, leaping, twirling, flying through the air like a man unleashed from gravity.
Jordan! Look at that! Holy cow!
I mean, the first time I ever saw Michael Jordan, it was our camp, and I said, I think I just saw the best 6'4" high school player I've ever seen.
There is just no limit to what Michael can do.
Michael Jordan in high school, no luck with girls, got cut from the varsity team.
You think where he came from as a sophomore in high school, not to make his varsity team 3 years, and he's National Player of the Year.
Your tongue hanging out.
Here comes Michael, tongue hanging.
But he has that tongue out so much, I've often worried about somebody coming up with an elbow and just knocking it right off.
Let me tell you a little bit about this guy. He worked so hard. One year he was running a 4.640. From 1 year to the next, he knocked that down from a 4.640 to a 4.340.
From Laney High School, Wilmington, North Carolina, a superstar. You see the time remaining, 32 seconds to win the championship.
The biggest shot in North Carolina history for a first-year guy to come up.
Arizona, the United States Olympic team against the NBA All-Stars.
If I were going to pick the best athletes I've ever seen play basketball, I think he's the best athlete I've ever seen play basketball, bar none.
There you saw Michael Jordan's tremendous skills as he went past Magic Johnson.
The uncanny ability to be able to create shots and hang in the air. There's just nobody like him.
Damn, man, only Doc has ever did that.
It's no secret or surprise of how great he was.
In my opinion, Michael Jordan has the opportunity to become one of the all-time great basketball players.
Did not lose a game, either against the NBA players in their exhibition series.
We're getting some real competition in this ball.
Flying through the air with your tongue out in front of the baddest motherfucking basketball players in the world.
Michael Jordan! What a play!
Harvard made a nice play. Well,
Kicking shit on a level that they've never seen before.
The U.S. has its ninth gold medal.
As captain of the U.S. Olympic basketball team last summer, he brought in the gold. Jordan says he owes everything to his parents. He gave his gold medal to his mother.
Welcome to the 1984 NBA College Draft.
During the 1984 NBA Draft, the Blazers passed up on Michael Jordan to take center Sam Bowie's second overall.
Selects Sam Bowie, University of Kentucky. The Chicago Bulls pick Michael Jordan of the University of North Carolina.
We started practicing our first day in preseason, and I got a call after practice from an assistant coach and said, "You didn't mess this draft up."
And now the noise factor begins to really increase. Here is the man. They call him Mr. Jordan in Chicago. The standing ovation.
The first time he stepped on a professional floor, all you had to do was look to see. There was an artist at work.
Michael feels that he can do whatever he wants, and you're in some sort of a different zone when you're out there.
I'm not sure people really know how good this guy is. And they usually concentrate on the fact that what a beautiful dunker he is. If he didn't dunk a basketball, he would be as great as anyone that ever played this game.
surprised at how fast I'm picking up the game.
Brown will put it in. Here's Williams. Let's see if they go for 3 or 2 here. Thomas, a three-pointer there. That's it!
An assassin personified that had that killer instinct. A killer instinct that he came into the league with.
He has the ability to take control of a game, to make the big shot.
Jordan kicks it to Watley. Down to 12 seconds. You see the clock now has been inserted in your screen. Jordan driving. He'll go for it.
The magic of this guy, Michael Jordan, the rookie. I'm out of adjectives already.
I'm going to tell my kids about his sheer will to win, the unflappable, unshakable confidence.
Yeah, he got it! He got it! He got it! Here comes Indiana. Vern Fleming, 2 seconds, 1 second. He didn't get it off in time. The Bulls have won the ball game. The Bulls have won the ball game. Michael Jordan, you talk about pressure.
Since he arrived, the stadium, which used to be 2/3 empty, has been sold out every game.
You can just substitute Knicks right there. It could be Jordan Oz, Lakers, Jordan Oz, Celtics, and everything else. Everywhere you go, you're getting this kind of thing. Last night, your first appearance at the Garden.
Michael Jordan puts on a show.
And he has shot to start him already, although still in his first month as a professional.
Nobody like him. Point blank. I never seen nobody play like he plays.
Game. Moncrief tried to get it away, but broken up by Daly, and gets it away to Jordan. Oh, showtime for Mr. Jordan.
He was the first to wear the number 23.
And a young Madonna in the crowd.
You know, he had the it factor. There was a James Dean, a Lone Ranger quality to Michael Jordan.
Can he fly or what?
Here's one of these nice fancy dunks. Most players really don't have to worry about doing it.
Up on the board. You're trying to go one-on-one. He lost the ball. Was stolen away, laid out for Jordan.
Michael Jeffrey Jordan is the greatest basketball player that I've seen.
Kaboom! And that's what they came to see, didn't they?
He made me want to be an NBA basketball player.
Still tie it. There's Jordan. The rookie from North Carolina, the rookie is playing like an all-pro.
We all know that Michael Jordan was the greatest basketball player ever.
Nobody that I've seen had the type of mental toughness that Michael Jordan had.
Jumper under heavy pressure. 35 seconds left.
And on the court, it was perfection. The way he wore his uniform, the socks low, the sneakers, sent people into a frenzy. He was the first to do so many things.
And Nike's coming out with a clothing line called Air Jordan.
Oh yes, his own shoe. They call it Air Jordan.
It's as hot as a Cabbage Patch doll right now. The endorsements are fast and furious.
Jordan's getting rich. His Chicago salary is reportedly more than $500,000 a year.
Coke and McDonald's for $800,000.
North Carolina to the height of superstar.
He doesn't wear one white glove. He wears strange-looking sneakers, and he soars through the air.
But there, Jordan goes in for a shot.
Says Jordan is a key reason overall league attendance is up more than 7%.
What more could Michael Jordan ask for? In less than a year, he's been named Collegiate Player of the Year. He's won an Olympic gold medal.
Turned into Captain Marvel again. Well, he's got him standing in the aisles already.
Set the NBA on fire, and he's been picked to start in Sunday's All-Star game.
He participated in the in the dunk contest.
Yeah, 3 times.
He was the first.
All right, here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls. One of the hot candidates for Rookie of the Year honors as he slams it home.
He wants to indicate where he's going to take off on this dunk.
Last effort of his semi-final round.
here's Michael Jordan of the Chicago Bulls.
You can fly, can't you?
Well, look, I said to so many people that we're fortunate in our lifetime to have seen a Michael Jordan.
Here's Jordan down the middle, all the way!
Rather than be born 30 years from now and only hear about the legacy.
Look at this crowd! Look at this crowd up on their feet! He went right down the middle on Artis Gilmore, slammed it over the top of the bench. Timeout taken by the bench.
People think that Jordan gets mythologized out of proportion. In fact, if anything, he becomes underrated over time.
Jordan driving!
Michael Jordan is just this ultra bad motherfucker.
Basket! Michael Jordan with 43, and the Bulls have a 5-point lead. That is it.
This year, it's not lonely at all. Chicago has virtually doubled its attendance.
There's a whole generation of kids now is going to swear by LeBron James. Because if you're watching LeBron James, it's hard to imagine that anyone was ever better than that. But kids, I'm here to tell you there was someone better than that.
Jordan just rocked the cradle for his 10th point, and the Bucks are going to call time.
There's a kaboom.
Highlighting NBA news, the Chicago Bulls in an unfamiliar spot. They're still on top. 3 games into the season, they won again tonight. What's interesting about last night was the fact that star Michael Jordan was injured early in the game.
Out of a total of 64 games, Michael defied the recommendations of his team doctors and management, came back and led his team to the playoffs.
Air Jordan is no longer Time Jordan. The Chicago Bulls are in the playoffs, and there are no restrictions on Michael's playing time.
The only question that remains is Michael Jordan really back?
When you think about Michael, you know, scoring 60 in Boston Garden in the playoff game.
To me, he was the first athlete who had great fundamentals. Most super athletes depend on the fact that they could just jump over you and run by you. But he took it technically.
This is game 2 of our best of 5, first round. Chicago had a 12-point lead in the first half of the game against the Celtics. Hits the jumper, but Bird played pretty well defensively against Jordan there. Michael Jordan has 8 points and is the game high scorer. Going baseline. Michael Jordan, 21 points.
I mean, against the Celtics, and that at that time, who had one of the best teams ever.
1 second on the clock. So now we'll see how Chicago responds to that knockdown punch. Jordan trying to use his quickness, and it works. Michael Jordan with 44 now in the ball game. Jordan cuts the Celtic lead to 2.
Larry Bird said God in shorts waxed us when Michael Jordan dropped 63.
And a foul, late sweep. A foul against Kevin McHale, who has been called by Middleton with no time showing on the clock. He can tie it up here and send the game in overtime. No time remaining. This is pressure.
People calling him God.
It moved Larry Bird to say, that's not Michael Jordan. That's God disguised as Michael Jordan.
Jordan with an all-time record 63 points in a single playoff game.
Jordan was always good enough.
Yeah.
He scored 63 points in a playoff game.
Yes,
and I think he played with us for.
I love it. You know, everyone's picking us to do somewhat bad, and it takes all pressure off this team.
Watch Gino get ready to hit it all the way down the court with Michael going, maybe?
Yep, there it is. Michael Jordan on the breakaway. For Jordan, it's a
and when they started trying to crown him early on, he didn't believe in that. He felt I didn't belong, and I felt like I had to prove myself. Just like when I was at North Carolina, I had to prove myself.
With the drive. Lays it in.
League's leading scorer, Michael Jordan, averaging 37 points a game.
Boom, perfect timing.
This guy's the best defensive player in the league. He's the best offensive player, and he's the best competitor.
By Jordan, the ball loose. Theus gets it. Theus on the dribble off to the right, takes it in, and Jordan steals the ball.
9 times first team all defensive NBA.
Here's Michael Jordan on the drive. In on Joe Klein all the way.
that post around.
Slam dunk championship, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins. And
just, you take this for granted now, but just the dunking. And just him being in the slam dunk contest, wearing his shoes. Everybody wanted those shoes. Everybody wanted to see him dunk. That's like all you cared about.
Dominique versus Michael in the dunk contest was like Hagler, Hearns, Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier.
From high above the rim.
Well, now Jordan does have his first taste of pressure in the slam dunk competition.
Michael said, well, I got one better. I'm going to kick my legs out.
Here's a heavyweight fight. This is what everybody was building up for.
I'm predicting a 50 on that.
Be hard not to give him 50 on that one, Steve. That was impressive.
They both got 50s on their first dunks.
Incredible. Could we call it a make good?
I mean, that's a two-hand windmill with authority.
Now for Michael Jordan. Here's the story. Wilkins finishes with 145. Michael Jordan needs a 48 to tie, a 49 to win. And Michael is backing all the way to the middle of the back.
Michael, he understands the moment. He walked down, he took his time.
48 ties, a 49 wins. Well, the crowd lets you know what they think of it. They gave him a 50. They gave Jordan a 50. He defends his championship.
My lifetime, a moment or history, I look at what we call the shot.
We have had three-point drama here in the final minutes of the game.
And a regular timeout.
Pippen brings it across, defended by Harper. 11 seconds to go.
In the middle of the floor.
Jordan has it. Jordan puts up a jumper and hits with 6 seconds to go. This tells it all. Cleveland has the ball.
The greatest clutch performer in playoffs history has to be Michael Jordan.
Gets the ball back, drives to the hoop, lays it in with 3 seconds to go.
What I've always said about Michael is he never feared the consequences of missing.
Here's our story here at Richfield Coliseum. One of these teams will advance to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the New York Knicks.
And I'll tell you an interesting story about the greatness of Michael Jordan.
Doug Collins began to say he wanted to pass the ball to Dave Corzine, and that's when Jordan slammed his fist on the clipboard and said, "Give me the effing ball." As the Bulls break the huddle, Jordan whispers to his teammate Craig Hodges, "I'm going to make it."
The Bulls have 3 seconds to try a shot. Zellers has Jordan. Jordan.
His fist. Cavs coach Lenny Wilkins could hear Jordan yell, go home," to Cavs fans nearby.
We're going to New York, baby.
All right, and the song was called by Anita Bailey.
That was get the ball, Michael. Everybody get the out of the way. Go to the basket.
Just how famous he was. And Bird was famous, Magic was famous. Michael had a different level of just, when he walked in, it was like a hurricane. Just every eye in the building was always on him at all times.
It's like you're describing Muhammad Ali, you know.
It was like Ali.
Michael Jordan is a phenomenon. All these kids standing, taking pictures and like reaching out to touch him. It's like, I compare it to biblically about people reaching out trying to touch Christ's garment.
This month's Fortune magazine did some number crunching to calculate how much money Jordan has generated in his career.
Show me the money aspect of Michael Jordan in corporate.
Show me the money.
His cologne has reportedly raked in $155 million.
Michael Jordan was the one who made fans watch, and Michael Jordan was the one who made fans buy.
No one moves more jerseys than number 23. He's also the world's highest paid athlete. He makes more than $30 million a year just doing TV commercials like these.
Hello.
Pressey looks
looks to bring it in. He comes into contact.
He was born with killer instinct because you can't learn it. You can't create it. You can't teach it. You can't coach it. You're either built that way or you're not.
The fact that he could fly is really magical on television, and it brought people who were not basketball fans in just at the sheer majesty and grace of his movement.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
We had dethroned the Celtics. We had dethroned the Lakers. And we thought that we deserved a little bit of respect as a champion.
Who in God's name would stop Michael Jordan? First of all, the game was far more physical when Michael Jordan played.
Dantley knocks him down, and Michael's up ready to go with Dantley. What the heck is going on?
You saw him in the gym. He came back a little stronger. Shoulders were looking bigger.
In their time?
Right.
There's no hand checking now. You touch them now, it's a foul.
You really had to rip somebody's head off and throw it in the stands for you to get a flagrant foul.
They just don't want to see that in our basketball game.
He never complained. Rick Mahorn and those guys, Kevin McHale and those guys, beat him to a pulp.
And he still averaged 30.
360, tongue moving.
The Pistons with the indication that it is all
The decision was made just to walk off.
If you had it do over again, would you shake hands with the Bulls?
Absolutely.
The Detroit Pistons heading back to the locker room. Their season has concluded, while the Chicago Bulls advance to the NBA championship round.
Compliments him, but not a perfect team. He carries this team. Rarely do players carry teams to wins, much less championships.
You're not going to avoid the Magic Michael thing.
And we got out on him about 12-2, and I said, I'm gonna really rattle his chain. So I went over there, tapped him on the shoulder, and said, hey man, if you don't turn into Air Jordan, we're gonna blow you out today. Jimmy, his eyes got big. Usually that tongue come about right here, now it's way out. He's looking at me.
Stripped by Jordan. There's Jordan. Jordan scored the 46. That was the one loss in the series. Jordan again. He has 20.
Michael has a streak in him competitively that I've never seen in anyone before.
I think Michael Jordan had the perfect body. It's long, it's lean, he can run, I agree with you. Everything was perfect.
The look away to Livingston. Jordan.
Michael Jordan in 1991 came down on us with the right hand, tongue out. He switched in midair to the left. And I was just stunned, and all of us were stunned to see him hang in the air that night.
And the Chicago Bulls have won their first ever NBA championship.
Incredible. They'll never be.
The moral is you should not talk trash to Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Portland and Chicago. It was almost inevitable. For the Bulls, there are great expectations of a different kind. This team has its championship. Now it seeks its place in history.
All right, Mike, this is a series that features two of the NBA's premier players, Michael Jordan and Clyde Drexler.
Two superstars, the Jordan-Drexler matchup.
Michael never played with a player that would get double teamed. So you had to carry that offensive load for not just a season, an entire career, and then on the other end be first team all defensive play. There's no one going to ever be like that, these super teams. Nobody will ever have that burden put on them.
Something was given to us by the notoriety, by the media, by the fans, that superstardom, and we have to protect it because everybody's coming in trying to get it.
Superstars love this situation. This build up to be Jordan versus Drexler. Michael Jordan saying, okay, come on, you're in my building.
Jordan with the steal! In commenting about the comparisons with Clyde Drexler, someone said, how about three-point shooting? Jordan made the point, well, I have not chosen to shoot three-point shots. As if to say, well, if I wanted to go that route. Well, he has chosen to look for the three here in the first quarter. It's unusual to see Michael bombing away. That's his third three-point attempt.
Jordan made only 27 the entire regular season.
That's his fourth three-point field goal.
And the aura of being Michael Jordan.
Jordan. Yes! That is an NBA Finals record. 5 three-pointers in a half. Drexler for three. Air ball.
Greatest competitor, the scariest competitor I've ever watched in any sport.
You see that look? Michael indicating he can't believe it. The Chicago Bulls have won the NBA championship for the second straight season.
Considering the relative youth of their nucleus, they could be in position to extend towards a dynasty.
He is not of this world, and there was an otherworldly aspect to Michael Jordan that he did things that nobody else could do.
For more than half a century, the U.S. was so dominant in basketball that its collegiate players were all that was needed to win the gold.
And here's the thrusting for the USSR. They win it 82-76.
Those other countries were using pros, playing against 18, 19-year-old kids. That is really unfair.
Loss after loss for U.S. basketball at these tournaments. And what was once a golden tradition has paled into something less brilliant.
Just moments ago, the Dream Team boarded the bus outside their hotel along the Ramblas.
I kept thinking that the attention would dissipate. They're going to play the first game. They're going to win by 60.
There's nothing like that ever. And even in that, with all these guys being tremendous competitors, I have to say Michael was probably the most competitive in that whole group.
A 6'6" guard, Michael Jordan.
The guy on the bench is taking pitches.
What may well be the best basketball team ever assembled. Curtinitis, but Mullin reads him so well, and watch out. So suddenly the lead stretches to 15. Oh!
Prior to the U.S. beating these teams by 60 points, they pose at midcourt.
It's a watershed moment in the history of sports, not just the Olympics, not just basketball.
Never before and never again will there be such a team.
Yes, look at these numbers. 31 straight points at one stretch, 46-1 run by the United States.
It gave birth to international stars who had nothing to do with those games in '92, but who took so much from it.
Ahead to Scotty. Throws it back to Michael, caught on one hand from 15 off the board.
He's just being told by Bruce Alexander, you have a delay a game. Now, if you step over, I'm going to have to call it.
Rodman will defend on the inbounds. Pippen will toss in. B.J. Armstrong is on the floor for the Bulls.
He inbounds the card right to Jordan. Time winding down. Michael for three. Yes! A winner! Unbelievable!
What we're talking about here is arguably the greatest player who ever lived, really indisputable to most of us.
Knicks beat the Chicago Bulls last night to even up their playoff series, one game apiece, and somehow the Knicks managed to contain Michael Jordan to just 15 points.
And Jordan upset because he was quick, looked like he got scratched by Starks, and he was very upset about it. And they continue on. Jordan wanted to go at him, and they're trying to calm Starks.
We just fell apart.
I think you're going home for this race.
Do we have a choice? Can you recover? Yeah, we don't have a choice.
When you mention the teams Jordan went through, those Knicks especially, I mean Mason, Oakley, Ewing, Jordan's going to the hole against them.
Oh, what a move by Jordan! It counts, and the foul.
There's some football being played.
Yeah.
In the 90s, when you drove, you get chucked with a forearm.
All that running through the paint.
And a foul! Oh, did he show the rookie something, Jimmy?
Michael Jordan finding it home.
He duplicated what he did on the offensive end on the defensive end.
And then you couple that with all of that athleticism, then his confidence skyrocketed.
By Rivers, and now Jordan with some words for Rivers.
He talks a lot of trash, and he had everything came together.
Sat out Thursday night with a bad throw. Here's Jordan. Jordan with the steal. And then it's stolen by Starks. McDaniel chased by Jordan. It's a clean block.
Whose game is it? It's Michael Jordan's game.
And it is Chicago going on to the NBA Finals.
Homicidally competitive. Like really, like almost you could say he had a problem. He was so competitive. His entire life just revolved around beating other people. That's how he measured himself. That's how he measured everyone he played with.
And why did they call him the Black Cat? Because he was smooth. Trademark gym shoes, still top sellers to this day. Ball head, tongue wag.
I think we've gone through a lot. Me personally, I've gone through a lot of ups and downs, but to cap it off this way means a lot to me, believe me.
I hate to make you look ahead, but you've talked about retirement in a year or two. Could you step aside if the streak is still intact?
No. Yo, my love is strong for this game right now. That's how I'm looking at it, and I'm going to be here as long as my love is strong.
Last night, we began the show with the disappearance of Michael Jordan's father. Tonight, the worst fears have come true. James Jordan was found dead, victim of an apparent murder.
What is still unclear and will be for some time is what effect this tragedy will have on Michael Jordan and his future with the Chicago Bulls.
In a matter of moments, Michael Jordan is expected to officially announce his retirement.
A very bittersweet day. There's a certain sadness because the greatest athlete to ever play a team sport is leaving the game. I can only imagine what it was like seeing Babe Ruth, because I think this man, I used to say, was the Babe Ruth of basketball. I've now come to believe that Babe Ruth was the Michael Jordan of baseball.
When Michael Jordan first retired from the Chicago Bulls in October of 1993, following his father's murder, the sports world was shocked. 4 months later, Jordan dropped another bombshell. He decided to pursue a career in baseball.
And then he goes to play baseball?
Everyone's like, wait, he's got to play baseball?
So many Hall of Famers like, this is my chance to get a chip.
Jordan, if he had retired, wouldn't he have gone to 8 straight NBA Finals? One could argue that.
Yeah, of course. We all believe that.
35 seconds away from the Knicks dethroning the Chicago Bulls.
To the 1994 NBA World Champion.
The NBA tried to plan for his retirement, tried to promote other players, like the Lakers' Shaquille O'Neal. But the shoe company Reebok recently canceled Shaq's shoe contract.
What is the NBA without Michael Jordan?
I think the NBA without Michael Jordan is in deep trouble.
Just being given an opportunity is something that I can feel very privileged about. I mean, the White Sox gave me an opportunity just to go out there and see what type of skills I have. And
would you like to see him come back?
Yes, I would. I think that he would be a good addition to this game.
Michael Jordan announced today he's coming back to basketball.
Jordan returns to the NBA on NBC at noon Eastern.
Yes, that was 636 days ago, so 21 months after his last appearance in an NBA game. Only 5 months after his number 23 was raised to the rafters in Chicago, Michael Jordan has returned, and he's wearing number 45.
A lot of special moments in NBA basketball. Usually the opening game of the season, the playoffs, 7th game of the series, the finals. I don't know about you, but I got the goosebumps for this one. This is very special.
The moment is nearly at hand. Michael Jordan's return to the NBA.
And there he is, Michael Jordan.
Whereas Jordan is the undisputed GOAT. Like there's, I mean, really no debate.
Make a wish. Count to 3.
Welcome back, Michael Jordan.
You know, he's the greatest that's ever played.
Greatest who ever played.
Yeah.
You go right there.
No question about it.
Jordan for the win.
He's just a superstar. Like you said, Bill, he was a celebrity. He wasn't a basketball player. He was a celebrity.
And I'll tell you, as a kid growing up, you know, in high school, I can't even describe what that was like at the time.
We put it on prime time, but Michael brought it to a whole nother level and took it international.
It's the magical, mystical Jordan Road Tour, 1995. The Bulls are 2-2 since his return, and one of the most asked questions in America, most often asked, is how is Michael doing? How is his return?
Jordan won the go at him, and let's try to calm Starks down.
However, Starks told me moments ago the Knicks still plan to have him go one-on-one, no double teaming. He wasn't intimidated before, and he's not now, and he says he's eager for the challenge. Moments away from tip-off, there is John Starks. He's been a little bit of a slump lately offensively, but he does play Michael Jordan very well. Viewing early in the game, Kukoc on the run.
Ezekiel 25:17. The path of the righteous man is beset.
Look out! Starts out on fire. Michael is 4 of 5.
For he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children.
What else? It's 20 first quarter points for Michael Jordan.
Look, I know what it must seem like to a younger generation. Guys, it's ridiculous. No matter what LeBron does, if he's not perfect, then he's not Jordan. Yeah, Jordan set a standard of near perfection.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger.
And did you ask, is he back?
Those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
55 points.
There were times where you could make a legitimate argument that collectively a team may have been better than the Chicago Bulls, but they didn't have MJ.
And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon you.
Michael finds the open man. Whittington with a jam. 3.1 remaining.
To take the game 20 years into the future where he has no fucking peer. There was no arguments about who the best guy in the league was.
The Chicago Bulls were an unstoppable force during the 1995-96 campaign.
That 95-96 Bulls team is the greatest professional sports team I have ever seen in any league at any time.
In Michael Jordan's first full season back, after giving baseball a try, the Bulls won an NBA record 72 games in the regular season.
When they terrorized the playoffs.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Flight 23.
everyone in the league. Didn't matter who you weren't getting anything when Jordan was around.
Jordan just looked over at Spike Lee and waved bye-bye. This one ends appropriately enough in front of New York's most celebrated fan, Spike Lee.
And through most of the country, really, is that these NBA Finals loom not so much as a competition as a coronation.
You know, with 72 wins, you know, all the consecutive winnings, games that we've won, but by no means do we want to do all that and then be the team that lose to the Seattle Supersonics in the finals.
And Marv, he has come all the way back to best player and MVP status.
And then he played a 63-win Sonics team and beat them in 6 games. No one ever took him 7 games in the finals.
The Bulls were able to complete the dream season and win the franchise's 4th NBA title after defeating the Sonics in Game 6. Michael Jordan, once again named Finals MVP, his 4th MVP trophy in his many tries.
Watch this, I'm gonna fly through the air. How about that?
So he just puts it in one hand and takes it down the lane.
Career high, 67 points, and you folks were here to see it.
He was the first guy that would literally fly through the f***ing air, slamming in dunks, where you would see it on the highlight reels on like ESPN, you would see it on the news, and people would just be standing there shaking their head.
Maybe it was an innocent question from Michael Jordan. Is it Byron or Brian Russell? But it drew Russell's fire. Brian responding, is it Michael or Michelle? Ooh. Now, on the one hand, you got to give Brian props for not backing down, but on the other, yo, B, that's Mike.
We're down to 5. Jordan putting moves on Russell. We're down to 2. Now to 1.
Hasta la vista, baby.
It is all over. The Chicago Bulls have won at the buzzer.
There is a big story going around this building right now. Michael Jordan is sick and missed the shoot-around.
He'd walk in the arena suited and booted when you didn't have to come in suited and booted.
3-piece suits, tie, knotted up, showed you how to be a professional.
He is suffering from flu-like symptoms. Made his way onto the court just moments ago, and as you see right here, looking a bit shaky.
18,100 fans in attendance, and the 600 million watching around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Yes. Not bad for a guy playing with flu symptoms.
And the Jazz not able to get to their offensive glass. Ostertag was great. Karl Malone's got the 3,000.
I mean, it was the man could hardly walk. He could hardly breathe, and he elevated himself.
Jordan to the cutting Longley.
If you give up, then they give up. You know, so I didn't want to give up. You know, no matter how sick I was, or how tired I was, or how, low on energy I was.
Yes, and he's tied the game.
Like the things that he does over and over again is like Michelangelo repainting the Sistine Chapel over and over again. Near exhaustion, ready to fall over. He's got his team tied now.
When they called a timeout, how he came out of the ball game and plopped on the seat, and that's what he did. He just plopped down.
He won't even take the Gatorade.
He doesn't want to waste any energy. No high fives, no lifting water to his mouth. He is exhausted.
A heroic performance by Michael Jordan.
I mean, as long as he plays the game, he's going to amaze us no matter what.
Yes! They lead it! 38 points for the King!
Leaning on Scotty as they walked off the floor. I'm not sure he had full mobility.
Looks like he's a boxer just hanging on along the rope. Performance by the flu-ridden Michael Jordan. A performance that I think will go down as one of the greatest of his career because of the situation. It is all over. The Bulls have won the title by defeating the Jazz 90-86 in its bedlam here at the United Center.
Max, from a physicality standpoint, he was actually an underdog from the position of getting beat up. Jordan ruled.
Michael Jordan with the takeoff and the crush.
The one time we played the Bulls, we get off the bus,
Before the game, Jordan parks inside his Ferrari. We're getting off the bus, and he's smoking a cigar.
Before the game?
Before the game. Yeah. And he's like, who's going to check me?
Michael shakes the finger, but he finally got his dunk on Mount Matumbo.
No, rebound Cartwright, off to Jordan. Michael Jordan, power jam in Barkley's face.
I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Jordan, tongue out.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome once again to Bulls basketball, playoff basketball.
In his heart, Michael already knew that these would be his last games.
And he just got better and better. I mean, he was, I've never seen a guy that I thought was as good as anybody I'd ever seen. 5 years later, he was 10 times better, and 5 years later, he was 10 times better.
Game 6 in Utah. For the Bulls, a win would mean a championship. For Michael, it would mean the cementing of his legacy.
Inside, they've already begun the chant of beat the Bulls. Jordan for three.
Got it. What you do has to transcend the generations in order to retain your place as the GOAT.
Here's Michael. He's got 21.
Michael Jordan always took his game to another level in the playoffs.
Jordan pulls up.
Like we've never seen before.
And connects. 25 for MJ.
6 titles, 6 finals MVPs. That means it was all about you each series. You were the mismatch.
He's still Michael Jordan. Whatever he has lost, through fatigue, through age, through whatever, has only brought him somewhat back to the field. He still leads the field.
He became the most dangerous man alive.
Cross-court Stockton, a three! It's there!
Those 2 three-peats that Jordan has, those are hard to compare anything to.
None of us ever saw what he was going to do, and we thought he was going to be great.
Pippen into Jordan. Michael working on Russell. Brings them to within 1. Michael Jordan with 45 points.
6 NBA Finals MVPs without ever allowing a Game 7.
Here comes Chicago. 17 seconds.
Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player I've ever seen. Better than LeBron, better than Kobe, better than everybody.
Jordan, open. Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship, and it's their 2nd three-peat.
He was, without a doubt, the greatest basketball player of all time, and he still is.
That's all, folks.
That's my line.
No doubt. Barber time all the time. We're here down at Barber Time HQ. I'm here for one reason. I want to shout out Battle of the Barbers Africa. My man Walcut's doing a great thing over there. You got the Barber Shutdown Boy. I don't know if I'm saying it right, but either way, y'all go shut it down. To all y'all contestants in there, do your thing. Don't be shy. Bring out your swag. Bring your confidence. Most of all, bring your skills with your clippers. But we're going to hold it down for you. As soon as this new site's up, it's a social media site.
It's also bringing it to the TV. It's going to handle all the swag of the barbering industry. So y'all be ready. Barber time all the time. Let's go.
I have to go outside and take a phone call. Sit in the chair, let the barber hook you up. Here's your tablet.
Thanks, Mommy.
Great job, Josiah. Tell the barber thank you.
Thank you. See you next time.
No problem. Thanks.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Reggie Winston. If this is your first time to the channel, I want to say welcome. Thank you for clicking on this video. If you're coming back from some other videos, you've been rocking with me for a while, I just want to say welcome back. Here at this channel, man, together we make barbers better. And in this video, we're going to talk about doing this bald fade. I'm going to walk with you through this whole process of this fade before we go to the shampoo bowl. This customer is getting a bald fade, and we're going to give him a service called Beard of the Gods. So if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit that bell notification, stay in tune. Those videos will be coming out. The shampoo, finishing up a fade, and the Beard of the Gods. As you see here, man, I'm going to start with my Wall Legend. It's a 1919, but I got a Legend blade and a blade slide on it. So it cuts a little closer and it has a longer fade range. I have it in a closed position. I started at the hairline, and I'm going to work my way all the way around, going under the occipital bone, right above the ear, not too high above the ear, and to the top of the C, or the bottom of the chair leg. I like to call that there. So I just clean it up a little bit. I did one pass all the way around. And again, always make this line here as straight as possible or as clean as possible. You don't want it jaggedness in this line that you're putting in. This is your foundation. Make sure your foundation's good. Trying to clean up on the neck a little bit with this same clipper close. We will be making our way back around with a outliner blade. But yeah, I'm just trying to make this thing look really nice and even and clean all the way around. So you see there, I'm looking at my reference points at the hairline, trying to make sure my fade is balanced. I'm standing behind him in the mirror, looking at what he'll see in the mirror, spinning around. Everything looks pretty balanced to me. I did see a little spot there I want to touch up, so I just went ahead and touch that up really nice. All right, now I got the outliner blade on my detachable clipper. Cuts closer than a 000. I want to get this thing nice and clean. I do like bald, but I don't like it where it hurts bald. I don't know if you have ever had a haircut where everything seems like it hurts. If you have that, have had a haircut like that, put that in the comments. When they use the actual trimmer or edge up trimmer to bald it out, and that thing just like, man, it's got super ball and it kind of hurt. I don't like that. Anyway, I'm using this smooth blade. It's an outliner blade from Andis that you can put on detachable clippers. Save the life of your trimmers. Put this outliner blade on, get things bald, all right? And it's a whole lot more smooth than a trimmer. So you see, I'm just turning around, just making sure I got balance. I grabbed that 1919 with the Wall Legend blade on it. Wall, please make a cordless Legend. It's my favorite clipper. Anyway, open it up. I'm starting on the beard first. Go ahead and blend that in a little bit. I'm using the middle of the ear. Then I go up a little bit on to the first line I put in. And I'm going to go up about 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to work that all the way around. 3/4 of an inch to an inch. You know, it can vary. And this is going to be like a medium high fade. Not a low fade, not just strictly a medium fade with a tight blend. It's going to be a little bit of a stretch blend, but it's going to be medium to high. I'm using my reference points. I'm checking to make sure things are straight. I'm also going to make sure this line I put in is not jagged. This is on my second pass. I already went from one side of the hairline to the other side of the hairline, all the way around the head. Now I'm walking my way back. And you see I got a little jaggedness in there. It's okay. I can fix that. Perfect. Let's close it down just a tad bit and reduce the travel. Travel is our vertical strokes from down to up. We're not going to go as high with it closed down a little bit, and we're going to work in just in this section for now. Do it for good video purposes, so you can see me closing my blade down and just working in the zone. I just close it down a little bit more, and I reduce the travel. And I'm going to continue to close it down until I get back to close, all the way close, and I'm going to get that bottom line out. And here, man, you don't have to put a lot of pressure on. You can just kind of feather it around and get a feel for it. You don't have to beat somebody's head up, man. And I can admit, sometimes I get a little aggressive. I get a little heavy-handed, but you don't have to be that in every stroke. So already, man, this side is already getting faded out of that bottom line. Get back to this little side over here, sideburn. I like to go ahead and try to knock out the sideburns while I'm cutting, so I don't have to go back and do it. Same technique, just reverse it. It fades up instead of fades down. All right, let's get around this occipital bone area, the back of his head. I close it down a little bit, reduce my travel. I'm gonna keep closing it down and reducing my travel. We'll move out this to the side so you can see. Still a little small C stroke. Not just bumping the line. I'm trying to create a little graduation with it. Now continue to close it down, work side to side. Still at the back of the head. And I'm getting that bottom line out. I put that line in with a clipper close. I can get it out with the clipper close. But you do need to work your way down. And one thing you might not notice sometimes is I'm using my left thumb on his head to pull and stretch the scalp a little bit. You might not notice it, but please try to use that technique to help with your fades. Use that thumb to stretch the scalp. And never put the comb down. We're getting that taken care of. All right, let's go on and move around. All right. See the little fine detailing, little stuff I want to get before I move all the way around. But let's get it. All right. We're going to open our way up and then reduce a little bit and do our strokes. I'm going through this pretty quickly, working just one pass at a time until I get down to the bottom. And what you didn't see with my left thumb is me adjusting the lever on the clipper. See a little dark area near that top line there. I know I did that with a no guard open, so I know I shouldn't go higher than that line with the lower level on my clipper. That's why I like working with these, lines and putting this bottom line in there. As you see, this clipper open, and I'm gonna reduce it to about halfway, and then I'm gonna reduce it all the way to clipper close, and we'll have our beard, the line started for our beard, and we'll have the line in there for our actual haircut. The fade is already, the bottom line, the bottom level of the fade is already in there. Same with the beard. Cool. I just want to verify both sides are still balanced. When he look at it in the mirror, I want to be able to make sure that he see what I see and I see what he see, and everything looks good. We're going to do a 2 close against the grain on him. I kind of wish I'd have did a 1.5 against the grain at this point, but we're cool. But we're going to do this 2, and we're going to follow it up with the 1.5. And some areas we'll hit it with the 1. But this allows me, this is my first time ever cutting his hair. Cutting against the grain allows me to see what's going on. As you notice, he didn't come in with a whole head full of waves, and he won't a waver. So this really doesn't matter if you go with or against the grain on him. If a customer said they want you to go with the grain, you never cut their hair for the first time, educate them, let them know you can use a larger guard to see exactly which way their hair flows. Some people will claim that you cut the waves out. You really can't cut waves out against the grain with a large guard, in my opinion, from my experience. I'm going all the way around the hair. I want to see if you have any undercurrents, see if there's any problem issues that we're going to have to go back and make adjustments for. And you see me cutting and combing. I start on the top of his head and I work my way all the way around. It's important that you learn systems, and systems help you be more efficient. Systems help you be more consistent as well. All right, so I had enough of that 2 close. I went ahead and grabbed, which is a 1.5 now. I'm gonna go with the grain, just try to smooth this stuff down. I got a good understanding of the way his hair flows, the whirl in his head, cowlicks up front. I'm working and like overlapping myself, just trying to make sure that I cut every piece and everything is even, there's nothing sticking up. Smoothing it with the grain. Smoothing it with the grain on a 1.5. I really only need to focus on the top of the head and just at the ridge, because we're going to fade these sides. Don't get caught up in trying to smooth down the sides with a high guard if you're doing a fade. I'm just going ahead. I want to go through it and just to see what I see with his hair. Be straight honest with you. This is basically a waste of time with this guard on the side of his head. If you want to be more efficient with your time, don't even be concerned about smoothing on the side with a high guard. For video purposes, me first cutting, this is my first time cutting his hair. You get to see the work. Pay attention to the rhythm. Pay attention to just the flow and everything. And the system, it works. I'm in his whirl area. Here you have to be really careful. I always like to go against the grain with the large guard, like I said, so I can see it and I can see, get a better view of how this thing flow. I'm going to take that same 1.5 and I'm going to start the process of sculpting his beard. As you saw, I did a C stroke down, and I'm going to come back up with it the opposite way and create a little C stroke there. Let's go ahead and taper his hairline. You see he got a peak right here in the hairline. Let's taper that down. So I went first with a 2 close against the grain. I'm going to start tapering it with this 1.5 close against the grain. And then we're not going too far into the haircut. We're just going, about 1 inch beyond the line. I still got that 1.5 on. I'm going to work my way around this parietal ridge. I did a 2 on top, so this 1.5 close is going to really blend in really well. And like I said, it was a 2 close on top. 1.5 is going to be closed as well. We're going to work our way all the way around this haircut. Pay attention to the strokes. Pay attention to how far I go up. I'm putting slight pressure on one side of the clipper. The left side right now is kind of off the head. The right side is more on the head. That's going to help create graduation, especially with the flow of his hair. Cutting and combing, brushing and blending, whatever you're doing, whatever side you representing. Let's get it done, y'all. All right, we continue to come back around. This is a second pass with that 1.5 close. All the stuff I couldn't get on my first pass, I came back and got. I did see a little stuff, so I just wanted to run through it one more time. 2 passes is usually all you need. Let's go ahead and switch that out to that 1 open. We're going to reduce the travel. We're not going to go as high on the head. But we're going to do 2 passes and work our way all the way around. And if I'm not mistaken, we will be using this to taper down the hairline a little bit more. As you see, just like we're cutting grass, we're kind of overlapping the last section we cut. We're using that as a reference to know where to stop. I travel. I got all the way to the hairline. Keep that chair spinning. Keep working in one direction. The only thing is with this hair, it wraps. So you kind of have to cut it. Sometimes you have to stop going in one direction and cut it against the grain and go back in the direction. I finished that 1 pass with a 1 open almost. Well, it's 1 open for sure. I just finished that pass, that second pass. I seen a few pieces in the back that needed a little bit more attention. Let's close this thing down. Excuse me, before we close it down, let's taper out the front line. We've reduced the travel there as well. And what I like to do, why I like tapering out the front line, it helps that hairline be more crispy and last longer so he don't have the lip. I know I did a 1.5 with the grain. This is that 1 open. I'm not going all the way to the middle of his head. I'm going kind of just in the front, and I'm even smoothing that down a little bit. You see me flip that clipper over and get that taper game back in there. Shout out to my man Wes James, hair clipper flipper. I'm applying, bro. You see me. That's that 1 open, 1 close. We're going to taper out that beard into that bald. Let's scoop that thing out this way too to help with the sculpting of it. He don't want a straight down beard. He want his beard to bloom out on the sides. 1 close. Let's start getting this line out. Started in the front hairline again. Notice the system. We start on 1 hairline, work our way all the way around the head. As 1 pass, we also reduce the travel, meaning our vertical stroke from down to up has been reduced. So we're not going too high up on the head with a lower guard than we already put in. This is fading down, and we're fading down to marry it to the section we put in first. Let's work our way back around this head. And I only comb just to get the hair to lay down for me so I can cut it better. See me flip that clipper over again. Let's move this thing with the grain on the sides. Remember, I did that 1.5. I told you it really wasn't necessary. This 1 is a much better choice on smoothing it down on the sides. We want this haircut to be smooth and well polished. That's why we're going to smooth it with the grain after we cut it against the grain. Up here in this little area near the hairline, I noticed there was a little bulkiness. So I wanted to smooth that down as well. Especially right up there in the front of the hairline in that corner. But let's go ahead and smooth this thing all the way down, all the way around the head, and really help this hair lay down. The better the better you do on this part of the process, the better the haircut will become and the easier to finish it. Like I said, we're going to shampoo this after we put the fade in. The fade should be like 85 to 90% in there. When you come back from the shampoo bowl, you should just have to polish and edge up. And when I say polish, anything that's sticking up and any pieces and any dark areas in that fade. I said it before in another video. When you polishing, you're looking for chocolate chips in the cookie, and you want to just get out the chocolate chips. You don't want to affect the whole cookie. You just want to get out those dark areas. You see, I just touched the beard again, worked on that beard, trying to help go ahead and blend that in. I do not want to have to come back and do this. I see a lot of barbers have that hard line in that beard, and they have to come back and go through the guard systems again. While I have that guard on my clipper that one time, I want to go ahead and knock out all I can with that guard. especially right here on the side of the head where the fade is going to be. Still see a nice little line. That's still at one close. I just want to get a little bit out before I go to my next guard down. If you can guess it, please drop it in the comments and just let me know what guard is next and what position should that guard be in. But we fading down. We did a 2-on-2 close against the grain on top. Then we did a 1.5 close. Then we did a 1 open, 1 close. This is still the 1 close. What's next? If you said half guard, you are correct. This is the magic guard. This is the money guard. This is going to help get this fade in there. And it's going to get that bottom line out. And it's going to help marry the top with the bottom. So I really reduced my travel on this. I'm trying to be gentle when I cut it. I don't need to put a lot of pressure in it. I'm combing just to get the hair in the direction it's supposed to flow so I can cut against that direction and really, really put a nice fade in there. This fade is working out. Yes, you do see a line. We're going to get that out later. But like I said, it only needs to be about 85 to 90% in there before we go to the shampoo bowl. Like I said, I reduced the travel even more. We're just focusing now through that line area where we did a no guard open and a 1 guard close. We worked our way all the way to the front hairline on the other side of the head. Now that would be 1 pass. Now we're working our way back. All right. Let's get a little close up on that, man. As you see, I'm attacking those little dark areas. I'm putting a little bit more pressure on the right side of the blade than I am on the left side. That's kind of like it's almost a 2 teeth. It just kind of helps create a little more graduation than just putting the whole blade up there, and less graduation, or it cuts more hair than a 2 teeth system. It's just a touch, man. As you get more reps in, you'll get a better touch. I took that 1.5. I took the half guard off, and now I'm going in with no guard open. That was what the line was put in there. 2 teething and putting more pressure to one side of the blade. You can do the left. I like to do the right because the hair usually wraps counterclockwise, and using the right side and creating a little lift on the left allows me to create some graduation. But we're going in after these chocolate chips, and we're going to get this fade, like I said, about 90% done before we go to the shampoo bowl. When he come back from the shampoo bowl and I need to do some more work, I don't want him to have a lot of loose hair clippings on him. But yeah, man, it's looking really good. You see, I'm just stretching that skin still with that left thumb, and I'm really getting in there using the corner of my blade of my clipper to get out these lines. And I'm creating W's. I'm creating W's because all we do is win. If you can remember that, man, you're going to ace this part right here, man. Create W's, a faded scattered lines. If you create W's like you're drawing with a pen or pencil, you will create scattered lines, and you will chop up that fade, and you will notch cut this fade into his head. So yeah, still stretching that skin with my left thumb and using the right side of my blade, creating W's. You don't create W's in the same spot. If you can't think of W's, just think of the heartbeat. We're creating a heartbeat. I don't know the exact technical term for it, but if you see a heartbeat drawn out or on a chart, that's what we're doing with our clippers right now. Up and down, side and to the left and right. Sorry about the focus here, man. I was focused, but the camera wasn't. But you still see the work I'm having to put in. I see a slight line right there when I just reduced the head. We'll get that a little bit later. But I'm pretty much happy right now with where I am with this fade. If I wasn't going to shampoo him, of course, I wouldn't leave that line in his head. But I'm about to shampoo him and get him right. Yo, this is Reggie Winston, man. Thank you for checking out this video. Together we make barbers better. Please consider subscribing because we have more of this coming. We have this might be a 3 or 4 part series. We're definitely gonna do the beard of the guys. We're gonna talk about the shampoo process and everything. I really appreciate you. Thanks for liking these videos. Thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for sharing these videos. We're growing. We're trying to get to 10,000 subscribers right now. I need your help, so please hit that subscribe button and please share this video. And if you got a barber friend or anybody that's a barber, considering being a barber, that want to learn some skills, so get their barbering to the next level, please send them my way and tell them to check out these videos. If there's a way I can make these videos better, holla at your boy. My name is Reggie Winston again. Hit me on IG, and I will see you in the next video.
So you're saying you only have $7?
$7? Yeah, $7 shave club. I got you, man. I get paid today.
You ain't got shit. You ain't got no job, nigga. How you gonna pay me? My name is Mike. I own Perfection Styles. It's been a long, long journey to get here. But some bullshit.
My name is Lawrence, but everybody either call me LA or Larry. I've been coming to the shop forever.
Yo, who cut this, man?
Mr. Perfect. Mr. Perfect cut this.
Hey, yo, Shot, this is the illest, supposed to be the illest in,
illest nigga in Nebraska.
It's the illest in the shop. This is what I got to go back. Hey, don't we charge extra for repairs?
Nah, you get your money back and gotta give it to the person that
you get your money back?
Just transfer the accounts from you to him. Being as though, you know, I'm not working right now, it's a release, I guess.
You're not gonna defend me, man? What do you mean? Defend you with what?
Defend you with what?
Defend me, man.
Yeah, my name is Roland, aka Mr. Perfect. I bring a different element to here. My style of cutting is really different from what they're traditionally used to, and my customers really appreciate that.
Mike, let me show you what I asked for, though.
What?
Let me show you. I got it in my Instagram when I asked.
What did he ask for?
Hold on, let me load this shit up. He gave me, it's the same thing, but it's just closer on the side.
The little Boosie is what it is.
It's the little, he gave me the juvenile.
Yeah.
He gave me the juvie.
As a barber, he's a rookie. He's fresh in the barbershop. He doesn't have too much knowledge of what goes on, how to actually manage in the shop. He can cut. He has some things he has to learn as far as barbering, but it's hard to teach someone like that.
That's what it was. That's what I asked for.
Oh, with the part on the side.
No, I don't want no part though.
With the curls on top.
Yeah, because you know I got that good shit.
Yeah. He ain't got no good shit.
No, he said, he said, cut your hair. He said, cut your hair like slicing butter. That's what he said.
He trying to get that tip about that.
There's no steroids.
Cut your hair like slicing butter.
I had my hair like this and it touched his balls. He was like, hey, you better watch out. I said, man, I said, to a massaging is free. I'm massaging for it. If it's a free cut, I'm massaging motherfucker.
Roller likes to do that, likes to lean all up on his guy.
Hey, yo, Miz, you gotta fade that MP out the back of that joint.
What's the MP for?
You know, let you know Mr. Perfect cut.
My name's Larry, everybody call me L. I've been here for 3 years. I'm the asshole in the shop.
What was his nickname?
What was his nickname? Hey, what's
he said
his
he don't
nickname?
know.
What's his he don't know? Oh, he ain't know? What's that?
My name came from my customer saying, man, this was a sharp cut. It's perfect. So, it made sense to me. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use that as my trademark.
He said, man, I ain't never heard of that. Wait till I tell mommy. Wait till I tell mommy you down at the barbershop calling yourself Mr. Perfect.
We have a lot of competition in the shop, which is good. You really need that kind of atmosphere because it tightens up your game. You know, they say that iron sharpens iron. So if you don't have haters out there, then there's no fuel to drive you.
Hey, yo, I'm gonna stop talking to you because I don't want you to keep sweating.
Larry and Roland have a long-standing beef. It started back before Roland even started working here. Yo, I'm glad you're here. Listen, man, it's been a crazy argument as to who's the illest. These two twins come in. I said, y'all got 20 minutes to finish a ball fade. I'm a judge who the best is, and we're gonna solve this, end this for all right now.
I ain't worrying about nothing.
Any new barber that comes in, L automatically tries to pick them apart, chew them apart to see if they can last. And that's kind of my incentive to him to see if they can last under the pressure in the shop.
Down, flip us down, flip us down, brother, flip us down.
So me and L had a competition.
We made it to Queensbridge. I think we made it to Ben Franco.
Happy part.
That don't look like nasty Nas. That ain't nasty.
It looks like nasty.
We got little imperfections here. Let's see.
I gotta take him back to my man L. L might have to tighten him up, man.
First of all, it was fixed. First, it wasn't even my customer. Listen, that's your customer, man. So
now you
of course it's a
making-
bias.
now you making excuses?
He ain't neutral. That's your customer, man.
It ain't neutral.
Really?
He ain't never said a twist.
That ain't fair, man.
He lost. I won.
Nah,
I'll show you
he said,
I'm the prop,
because
right?
you know what he said, the first thing he said, I gotta go.
See how choppy that is? And then you see he got a half a sideburn. But this is my head. But then you see this line right here? Look how he got a helmet on. You know what I'm saying? Then I had to mess around and fix the one that he messed up. I'm trying to give you some knowledge, right? If you don't want to take it,
listen,
look.
You can't take what you're trying to say. This is
I can take it all day.
You mean to tell me the sideburn cool?
If I had more time, man.
If you had more, if it was a fifth, we all be
Listen,
drunk.
that's your customer. You know your customer's head, though. You know his head.
Roll it.
That's why you
Stop
say you
straight,
know
but you are a barber.
You
are a barber.
All day, but when you really know somebody's hair, you know how to cut. First of all, he puts his hairline all the way back here. I don't cut like that. I don't cut it.
You want to say push yourself?
Look at how you got this boy. Hit this. Hold it. I can feel the hair first right now.
Now look at his.
You pushed it all the way back here.
You did this.
No, I never touched the line. I just went.
Look at that.
Look. I just seen where you had previously cut it at, but you cut all the way back in there.
That's what you did. About 12 more years left to have here.
That's not professional. Mr. Perfect, it's not professional. How you gonna sit there? I gotta pick it out. I gotta cut it again. Go ahead and say it. I ain't worried about nothing.
Listen. He's very, very difficult to try to explain something to. He'll listen, he'll act like he's getting it, but in the end, his way is definitely better than yours.
You can't cut with me.
I just did.
That's your customer, though. That's what I'm saying.
Why
That's
you
your
feeling
customer.
so passionate?
It really doesn't count when you have your own customer and you cut them than someone who's neutral. That really wasn't a neutral ground. So he did win the competition, but it doesn't mean that he's better than me. He's only 8 years old. He got a hairline like he's 13.
But he got a hairline like
And
you.
it's the same hairline.
He got a hair.
It's the same
This ain't the
hairline.
same hairline. You know anything about cutting hair? All right, look at my man's front. Don't open your mouth. Don't open your mouth.
I'm not saying that.
Look, does this front look even or straight? Tell me what you see. You got pink eye. Nah, I'm just messing. But you see how this thing comes down right here? Don't say nothing, bro.
I'm not saying that.
Your time's over. You can leave.
It's a little bit far on this end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm saying.
Right here. It's right here from his eyelid, right there. You see that? You see this? You see my finger? I'm not moving my finger. I'm not moving my finger.
No, don't touch the kid.
I'm not moving my finger right there. Look. I'm not moving my finger.
He got his shit. That's nice, man. Everybody said it's nice except you. Go back to the other side. I fixed both of the kids' heads up, and that's what I do. So I guess I'm Mr. Perfect because I had to fix his mess up.
Roland needs a lot of